See
Now we got to start over.
what had happened
Mm-hmm.
was, yo guys, we are live. I do apologize for the technical difficulties, which are actually Xbot difficulties. I'm not gonna blame the hardware there. That was just me not unmuting and doing what I was supposed to do. So that is my fault. All right, but yeah, something I want to bring to your guys' attention for the pregame, something a little bit different. This is a list going around social media right now about PlayStation 4 games coming out in 2017. What do you guys think on the panel? You guys excited for this right here? Do you see these games? Oh my
Man, listen.
goodness!
Well, hey, they got an Xbox One exclusive coming to theirs, Local Cycle Remastered.
Yeah, you see that, right?
Yeah, that's only 3 years later, but whatever.
All right, guys. When it came to the PlayStation experience, I let it be known. I know you guys are my friends. I know you guys. I told you this first, but I thought the undertone, the meat of the PlayStation experience was basically resting on remasters, and they're like remastering PlayStation 1 games and shit like that. And I was like, man, how are those old ass mechanics gonna feel today? But if you take a look at this list, can you guys count how many of these games don't have any red lettering in them? Like none of them that say remaster or delayed from 2016. Do you guys see
Confirmed
how many?
2017 PlayStation exclusives.
There's
Well,
only
see,
4 of them.
but no, that should even be one because Persona has been the most delayed game this generation.
Well, they didn't come out with a date. I will give the ponies that one. Yo, they've been talking. I know Jabroni over there, whatever the fuck his name is on Facebook, like tried to tell me, yo, before 2016, Persona 5 is going to be out in the United States. He can't wait to buy it and shit. Well, I guess he can wait because it's still not out yet.
Put it this way, the developers don't even know when that game's going to be done.
Dude,
Well,
I mean,
but it's already been in Japan. It's sold out in
But
Japan,
even
and
still,
It's-
four titles, dude. 4 titles with no red lettering on it. Does that sound about right?
well, I guess you can add 4 because Ace Combat 7 is an original game. It's a new game, so it's just 50% done. So which means it might not come out until 2018.
Yeah, I think that's a multiplayer also.
Yo, guys, everybody in the chat, I want to know when you see this list. I'm gonna pop it back out again. Before we do the intros, all that good stuff. We got an awesome special guest tonight as well. So we want to get the show started. But hit up that chat. Let me know, what do you think about this list right here? Because this is like, somebody in the chat was like, Iron Wolf was like creaming himself over this list and stuff like that.
oh man, where are we going there? We're going there. Come on.
Hey, it is what it is, man. But are you hyped for 2017 with the PlayStation 4? And I didn't even add that when it comes to Sony, over 90% of their exclusives get delayed. This list proves it as well. Delayed from 2016, delayed from 2016, delayed from 2016, delayed from 2016. Yo,
Still waiting.
you know what I'm saying?
Still waiting.
Greatness still awaits. Greatness still awaits.
Hey, guys, I thought it was funny. It was a little something that was, like I said, going around social media. This is the ammo, all right, that like people try to shoot us with.
Yeah.
Yo, they're shooting Nerf darts at us, dude.
Well, the thing is, no one should even be wasting their time with this stuff. Like, the only one on that list that seems somewhat redeemable, and we'll see when it comes out, is Horizon Zero Dawn. Everything else is, stuff they've already done before, or things that don't have solid dates. Like, why? Why are we giving our even time of day? To be honest with you,
Horizon gonna be
Sony's
trash.
entire E3 this year was on shit that's coming out years from then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, they tell us that we're not asking for games, but yet when they see a game and it's like, oh, real early development, they don't look at the track record of Sony, what they've done with their exclusives. They're like, yo, that's guaranteed. By the end of 2017, that shit's coming out. Like, really?
well, I think it's important how we act and not how we react to these situations where
That's
people
true.
try to throw all that mud in our face. Because to be honest with you, like, I'll buy a PS4 Pro when they have 3 exclusive titles that I really want to play on it. Horizon Zero Dawn, I've made it very clear, is one of those titles that's on my list of let's see what that's all about, and I want to see what the new God of War, if it's a good direction or not. But most of this stuff is just not on my radar. It may be on some people's, and that good for them. But if they buy a console based on a track record, and they run a risk of being frustrated with that hardware. People would say customers are dumb. Well, that's not necessarily true. They can be tricked into one thing once, but once they've been tricked into something and you don't deliver, they get upset and they frustrate and they move on. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Don, you're making good points. I want to shout out to Solo Dolo in the chat. He was like, the Sony games that look good, like Last of Us 2 and God of War will come out. Then we'll have to buy the PS5 soon after. I mean,
well, we don't even know if to do that. You're going to deal with new hardware with all the newer rumors floating around.
But basically, he's like, that doesn't make me want to buy a PS4. Like, after E3, this past E3, there were people that were like, oh man, it's all done now. I got to go get a PS4. I just looked at them like they were talking Swahili or something. I was like, you do realize that game's not coming out till like 2018, 2019. Like, you have to buy it now? Like, what do you want to play now that's on the PS4? And, you know what, guys? Great pregame, but do you guys want to get the show started? I am itching right now.
Yeah, let's
yes, sir.
Let's get it going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. There we go. All right, guys, here we go.
Hold up.
What's going on, people? And welcome to the 31st episode. 31 episodes of the next podcast, man. It's absolutely great to be here with you guys on a Saturday night. We have a special guest in the house. As you guys can tell from the pregame, man, I really wanted to get started. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to jump into the need of Japanese games on Xbox, or if there is one. Of course, we're going to talk about that new CPU that's kind of like it's shining in gold out there in the tech spectrum, and that is the RyZen. And I do want to touch on Zelda and how Nintendo seems to be slapping a certain consumer base right in the face. But like I said, we have a special guest. I definitely want to introduce this guy. He is a mainstay on Next Gen 720's multiplayer podcast. He has his own YouTube channel. He's I heard about some of his plans for the future of his channel. It sounds really good. Really cool guy. And for the first time on Next Podcast, let me introduce TReaper.
Thanks, Xbox. Thanks so much for having me on tonight. I deeply do appreciate it. It's been a long time coming, and all I gotta say is screw my management. If they don't like it, they can do it without me for about a week.
Yeah, no, yo, T, didn't you tell them that you were going to be on the next podcast with Xbot, Mega, Newark, Fuskies? Like, I'm surprised they weren't like, yo, yeah, go ahead. If you could get autographs, please. Like, they didn't do none of that, man.
No, I told them what it was for, but it was the guy who does my hours, he particularly got pissed off because it's Star Wars week, and I work at a showcase, so I work at a movie theater. So Star Wars week. It's Star Wars week this weekend, and they're without their one of their hardest workers. So they were pissed off. But being on here is definitely worth a week off. Not to mention it was my birthday this week, so I was I've been having a fun week so far, and it's awesome to be on the show tonight with all you guys.
Nice. Yeah, I saw in the DM you were sharing pictures of drinks and stuff like that. Looks like you're having a blast. Dude, is there anything you want to say before time, like about your YouTube channel before we move on? Anything you want to let people know about that, or you?
Well, my name
Caught you
speaks
off
for
guard.
itself. That he got. No, I knew you were gonna ask me that. That's fine. It's TReaper. I've been doing this for about a year now. I'm also on Beastfire on Tuesdays with Dealer, Dean the Tech God, and
Oh,
Zaire.
good. Yo, Mega. I gotta block him from that shit.
I'm not gonna forget King Mega. King Mega's there with me on Multiplayer Podcast on Thursdays. So I've been around for about a year now, and it's time flies. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
I just uploaded a new montage. I hope everybody on Twitter that voted for that song likes what I did with the video, and it definitely took a while to actually do so.
All right, I'm gonna say the disclaimer that he had with that video. By the way, Final Fantasy 15. If you really want to go through the story and not know what's going on and stuff,
Don't watch the video.
Yeah, maybe put the video on for the music and listen to it while you're doing something else around the house or something. But yo,
Killing me right now,
dude, you see Reaper's gameplay right now, yo. It is
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
sick, dude, sick.
Nope,
Dude,
I'm
pleasure.
turned away.
Yeah.
Can't see.
Dude, pleasure to have you on, man. I can't wait to talk about these topics with you, but I do have to introduce the rest of the panel. And I'm going to start with the man who rocks that chinchilla, self-washing chinchilla. You know, when I start talking about that coat, it's time to show that respect and kiss that ring. TheDon.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm excited. Another week has gone by. We get to talk about tech today, so that's kind of my wheelhouse. And we got TReaper here, and I've heard him on Next Gen's channel, so I'm excited to have him here as well. So
Yeah, nice. Just don't get on him about like getting a girlfriend or anything, okay? I'm just saying.
really, like you're still anti like girlfriend, aren't you? Weird.
Yeah, I am. I said this to Beast Shadows. You're getting me a girl is like trying to get me on PlayStation. It's not gonna work.
Nah, I think it will. Yo, any of the girls out there,
Find something.
any of the girls out there, yo, check out his YouTube channel. Yo, follow him on Twitter. You never know. It could be a connection waiting to happen. But
He has a sweet spirit, ladies. Come on. Give him a shot.
Well, we're gonna change the podcast name to Love Connection, man.
No.
But yo, let's get to the skeptical guy on the panel, the guy who was putting some iffiness in the DM, but he's still that wizard of the UWP, NewarkNJ.
Today, like I was a pony for like 2 hours and I didn't even know it, man. Like, but it was some things going on Facebook I had to just vent about, like disrespect from both sides, whatever. It's getting kind of corny or whatever, but
Yeah, sometimes it goes
Still-
too far, man.
yeah, but back another week for a great podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. And I was watching this for all y'all people out there that are like Forza and Gran Turismo. It's this show on Netflix called Apex, man. Like y'all should check it out. It's a real good documentary.
Was it there was a racing game for 360 called
Just wanted to put it out there. Yeah, the name of the show is Apex. It's also being broadcasted in 4K. It's a real eye candy, man. You learn a lot about cars. Dan Greenwald is on there. Like a lot of people up there
Wow.
talking about. It's an amazing documentary.
I find it funny that they called it Apex because I remember on the 360 they had a game called Apex where you basically built your own car. You remember that, yo? Anybody?
Yeah,
remember
that's what
that?
they talking about. Like Bugatti and all these companies, Porsche. Like they all talking about like from the beginning, building up like to the ground up. Like it's an amazing show, man.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I definitely gotta check it out. I am I guess you could say I'm a gearhead connoisseur. Like I love cars and I love like car stats and stuff like that. But if you ask me to go in and change something in the engine, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like connoisseur as opposed to being a gearhead and knowing all that shit. But
Yeah, Bob's trying to put a flex capacitor in every car he owns.
88
He's
miles
like,
an hour, man.
where do I put this thing that looks like a blender on the back?
Oh goodness! All right, let's go. Let's go next on the list. Of course, it's the man with that smooth voice, the golden voice of next podcast, Fooskies.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Glad you're back for another show. We got some good things to talk about. Ladies, make sure you aim the panties towards TReaper's side of the room. I did bring my umbrella, so it won't even affect me anyway. So let's
Oh,
have a good show. What's up?
all right. So we got a chinchilla, a ring, and now an official pimp umbrella. This is amazing, man. We're gonna start
Oh,
our
you
own.
should see my new shoes. I got the little fish in the heels and all that. Yeah.
Oh no. Awesome, man. Yo, Foos, as usual, it is great to have you on, man. You sound good. Let's do this, man.
Let's do it.
All right, and let's see. Did I forget anybody here? I don't. Nah, I'm just playing. Next on the list is just the man trying to talk to the intelligent gamers out there, coming live from the 405. K Mega.
That's how we getting this party started.
Oh.
I have entered the room, ladies and gentlemen.
The
And
Titanic
now,
just sunk. I'm just.
yes, pretty much. Anyway, I just hold on. Let me take a sip of this nice good stuff. Glad to be back on the show with the family. Even though we have a pony amongst our midst, and I have to expose him. Anybody that calls Sylvester Bari, we know that they have to be a friend or they're going to do the Iron Wolfie. So NewarkNJ, we will expect you to be a part of PlayStation Legion anytime soon now. So just let me know.
Nice.
Okay, they say greatness awaits.
Anyway, no, I'm just messing with you. Man, happy to have TReaper on here, man. Just as usual, just like having fun, man. It's all about gaming, not taking anything personal, man. It's all love. We are all gamers. Let's respect one another as one, unless you are a deranged pony. Fire his ass up.
I think we'll be talking about those today, by the way. Those
yes.
deranged ponies, man. Dude, Mega, I do want to say, first off, I want to give a shout out to my man Archangel Nexus on Twitter. I started going in on about the discussion of Japanese games on Xbox One with a Mr. Barney Rubble or something like that.
Oh yeah, my boy Porter Rock, man. Shout out to Porter Rock 77, man. A lot of people think that me and him hate each other. Well, actually, after the multiplayer podcast, we laugh and we talk for maybe about an hour or 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, man. Yeah, and Reaper can.
They do not hate each other. They do not hate.
Oh
No.
wow!
Yeah. We got a lot of love for each other.
Well, here's the deal. All right,
I was about to.
hold on 1 second. I want to give Archangel Nexus because he did something. Yo, man, he put a lot of the fans to the next podcast, a lot of fans to our channels, man. They put hope out there. And I really want to talk about this about Nexus real quick, just because I was talking about straight facts stuff, common sense. All right, like why would Xbox, and we're gonna get into this down the panel, but why would Xbox add Japanese titles to Xbox games if those Japanese titles aren't even really selling well on the PlayStation side of things? And I was coming in with facts and stuff like that, and it was trying to get duck, dive, dip, swayed, swung, whatever, by Porter Rock, and a couple of his henchmen. But Archangel came in, man. Archangel Nexus, big shout out guy on Twitter. Definitely check him out, look for him. But he came in and he started saying stuff, so I didn't have to. It was all common sense stuff, all stuff that made sense. And he's like, I'm not even judging Xbox's character. I'm going by what he said. That right there, I gave him a lot of respect for, because it doesn't matter about my character or who I am or anything like that. But when you go and you look at what is being typed out there, and if it's facts, and if it's common sense, and if it makes sense, then yeah, that is the winner of the argument. That statement right there, the common sense in it. And man, he said a lot of stuff, so I didn't have to, and he was on point with everything. So big shout out to Archangel Nexus, dude. Awesome job on Twitter today.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, big shout out to you, Mega, because when I really had to go into crunch time and really finalize everything for the show tonight, you kind of took over for me. So I really appreciate that as well, man.
No problem. And of course, as usual, I got a lot of hate, and it's fantastic. I love salty tears. Just to make anybody out there know, I love the salty tears. That I do not care about anybody calling me names, being so I have way more pressing things happening in my life that I can worry about other than somebody not liking me over some video games. That shit really makes no sense to me.
Mega, one of Barney's henchmen tried to tell me that Sunset Overdrive is more of a PlayStation gamers game anyway. I'm like, really?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You're gonna make boundaries like that, man? Yo,
yeah.
You're saying,
you're saying they like
more,
everything now. They like everything now.
Hold on,
Pretty
they're
sure they're gonna want a Mario
need more
game.
Japanese titles on our hardware that we prefer, right? But when it comes to Sunset Overdrive, that's more of a PlayStation game. Does that make sense, dude?
That's not even a Japanese title.
No, yeah, but to see, that's what I'm saying. If they're saying that, Xbox needs more Japanese and how PlayStation has more of those titles there, well, maybe that's more of a PlayStation gamers game right there. I don't know.
Oh my god.
You see,
the spoilers in this gameplay, I swear.
He's killing me. Yeah, I don't want to see it.
Watching
but I keep
that
looking
shit.
at it.
Yo,
I gotta watch that. Yeah, I gotta get away from that shit.
I'm gonna hit pause by
I'm going to the hangout, man.
Yo, Reaper is a beast with gameplay, man. I swear, dude.
Damn, he's man. Damn, Reaper.
Yo, he gave me 2 huge chunks of gameplay, and he kind of let me chop it up real quick. So, I helped finalize exactly what we're watching, so I can't let him take the brunt of that, man. It's partly me too.
I did warn him that there were spoilers in and I'm getting messages.
Yo, people cursing right
turn
now,
that shit off.
Yeah, send that motherfucking phone to Hades, motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
My phone is on the other side of the table.
We're professional up in here. This isn't the multiplayer where we just got the damn fool. We got to have some sense of some dignity up in this motherfucker. No, I'm just
really you use
with K Mega on the panel.
Golly.
I told Xbox there were spoilers in the second clip I gave him, and it was from Chapter 9. So it's from Chapter 9. It's almost at the end of the game. However, I did not see. I recorded 3 clips. I only gave Xbox 2 of them. So
damn.
I could have given him the ending of the game, but I chose not to. I have the ending recorded.
Damn.
I do.
So you play games?
And I had to do that, and I had to do Final Fantasy twice, and I found it amusing because it took 22 hours to beat the game the second time around.
The game is absolutely gorgeous. What I'm watching right now is.
Oh, he just showed me something what didn't I want to see? Anyway,
why do you keep looking?
Hold on, guys! I gotta give a
It's memorizing K-Man.
All right, guys, hold up! I gotta give a major shout out. If you notice, man, the intros were kind of short today. All right, big shout out to Snap Suckers, Girls Could Game 22 on Twitter. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it today because of her job. Somebody called out. She couldn't have coverage. She didn't have coverage from anybody else, and unfortunately, she is out peddling cookies right now. So, big shout out to Girls Could Game 22. She did give me gameplay, so you will see her gameplay and stuff like that. But that means I am unshackled. I am not controlled. I don't have Snaps trying to tell me calm down or anything. So we are gonna get in tonight. So. First topic of the night, Japanese games. Unless you've been living under a rock or something, you don't have social media, you don't play video games, don't have a console, something like that. You've heard this whole kind of like push that Xbox just doesn't have these games. Where are the Japanese games? Man, we want the Japanese games. Yo, Xbox should have Japanese games. I've heard it drilled in my head. When it comes to Twitter, Facebook, all around social media and stuff like that. I'm going to hit our special guest first. TReaper, when it comes to quote-unquote Japanese titles, do you feel like the Xbox One is lacking in them? And do you think that it is a category that should be filled out by the Xbox division at Microsoft?
I feel that it's a category where if enough people give a shit about it, they'll cater to your better nature of what you want from Xbox. But it's only a big deal in Japan. In the US, we could give 2 shits less. So in my book, like the biggest newest JRPG is Final Fantasy, and that sold like hotcakes off the shelves like the first day it was the day it was out. So congratulations to them. But it's just like, it's not, if you want JRPGs, just go to Sony. Stop trying to cater Xbox to something that it's clearly not, and it's clearly not going to be anytime soon, and you just want to condemn it because it doesn't have your JRPGs that look like indies from across another piece of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just me. Like I play this Xbox for mainly for shooters and mainly for action adventure games. I don't play it for Japanese titles because the only Japanese titles that I ever fell in love with were basically Kingdom Hearts. So that's the only
And that's coming. The next Kingdom
that,
Hearts is
and
coming.
that's coming, and that is coming. But the whole Final Fantasy thing, I never played one in my life until Final Fantasy 15 because I didn't like the turn-based concept. But as soon as they took that turn-based concept off, I bought it, I played it. I love enough of it to actually play it for 40 hours and get that 22 stamp of approval. But then I was just done with it. Like it's not something that like gravitates me to turn my system on in the morning. So it's like to me, it's not really that big of a deal that people make it out to be. But I can see how in Japan it's a big deal because in Japan JRPGs are like next to God on their handheld devices and their 3DSs and their PlayStation Pros and stuff like that. So I can see it.
PlayStation
I see
Pro
how
didn't even sell that well in Japan, considering that Sony is a Japanese company. Um, but why do you say like these games don't necessarily sell well here? Where do you get your information on that from, man?
just for the matter of fact that they come out in the U.S. Who in the U.S. wants to play JRPGs and rather than a shooter? It's not the demographic is not big enough to actually care.
All right, well let's move on next on the panel. Yo, um, Newark, what do you think about Japanese titles on Xbox? Do you think it's lacking? And do you think like Xbox should kind of
Can y'all hear
reinvigorate?
me?
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
Yeah, I might be botting a little bit, but according to some people in the comments, games are too powerful to run on the Xbox One. I'm sure he's joking, but I wouldn't be surprised because you know how they think.
Oh
No,
goodness. But
but I'm with Reaper on that one. It's an audience for that. We don't really care. We do get the games that make sense. As I was saying last week, nobody want a rape simulator.
wow.
Um, I'm just being real.
I
It's,
forgot
it's,
the rape
it's some weirdness
simulator
going
quote,
on.
yo. Yeah, I forgot about that quote, man.
But
Oof.
a lot of their games doesn't like a lot of their games don't even make it to the shores over here. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I don't really care too much about it.
Well, why do you
The little
think
Final Fantasies here and there is good.
with the way people have been touting Japanese games and saying how they're over there on PlayStation and we don't have them on Xbox, why do you think only a certain fraction of titles make it to the West then, man? You see what I'm saying?
I would say it would be more of a funding issue because Microsoft only funds something that they know it's going to sell, and if they have a feeling it's not going to sell or even a reasonable doubt that it's not going to sell, they're not going to support it. But it also goes vice versa because if you hound Microsoft for a title, eventually you're going to get that title.
Well, I
So
think
Yeah,
I think
agree.
Microsoft with what they're doing with Lost Odyssey and for people who don't know, Lost Odyssey 360 title, backwards compatible. Yo, now until December 31st, the game is free. So you can go and download it now. I know TReaper won't because it is turn-based. It is a turn-based JRPG, and I think one of the reasons why they did that was to gauge interest. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
yo, guys, I'm trying to dangle I'm dangling a carrot out in front of you guys. You're like, well, you know,
I'm just trying to be cool because I'm not trying to show,
you see
take
that
over
carrot,
the,
right?
the,
You,
the
you,
panel.
you
Yeah,
see.
I see it, but I'm letting everybody to get their little shit in. So you just go right ahead. I'm just staying quiet.
All right, man. All right, yeah. I am, because you guys are saying like Microsoft will invest in them if they will sell. You're saying that they don't sell well like over here on Xbox and stuff like that. And I'm trying to ask, well, where are you getting this information from? Yo, Don, do you have any opinion on this? Like, do you think like Japanese titles don't sell well on Xbox? And can you give me some type of I don't know info to back up either way here?
I'm gonna rewind the clock back.
Uh-oh.
Perspective is always a good thing. So
Get in the
back
DeLorean.
in the 8-bit era of the NES, when they were the king of current consoles, right?
Uh-huh.
Every single game they had was pretty much a Japanese developed game.
Okay.
But a very small portion of their library made it here to the United States. Why? Because most of Japanese games do not sell well in the United States. Simple as that. It wasn't worth importing that game over to this region.
But was it Street Fighter was a Japanese title?
No, I mean,
Final
well, I mean,
Fantasy.
Yo,
That's why I said all of Nintendo's titles were Japanese, but the majority of the library never made it here to the United States. People don't realize that. So
you know what's
always,
crazy though?
Yeah, go ahead, Newark.
Japanese titles don't even sell in the US on PS4.
There
No, they-
you go. Yo, Mega, can
I'ma be
can
real.
we get some type of cheer for
Yeah.
him or something?
Yes.
Oh, now he's there.
We're
We go.
getting that, and then we're gonna get the cheer.
There we go. Thank you.
I watch so many Zombie videos about Japanese game sales over here. Like, it's crazy. Top Japanese game selling 12,000 copies over it. Like,
Well,
they
that's
don't
the
even sell on
point.
PS4 over here.
That's the point. It's always been a problem since the beginning, and it's gotten worse over time. And they haven't, Japanese developers haven't been able to scale with more powerful hardware like US developers, where they kind of came out of nowhere. So, there's a reason why that they're not doing well. They don't port well. And honestly, there's such a huge cultural difference. Like, I mean, those are all issues. You can't just force it into a culture and say, hey, try these games that are just, I know they're a little strange for you guys, but just give them a shot. Most people just don't have the time or don't even want to put the effort into that. I mean, that's just reality.
I swear, Nezif is the typical pony. Like, as soon as they backs against the wall, they want to shout out console sales. Like, nobody cares about that.
Well,
The
hold
software
on.
numbers is not making up for that.
If he wants to talk about 50 million supposed consoles sold and stuff like that, 50 million. Who the hell is buying the games, though?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? If there are 50 million pieces of hardware that can run this gaming software, how come the sales aren't more? All right. I had Iron Wolf on social media, on Twitter, said over 100 Japanese titles, and he's cheering, right? I asked him, out of those 100 titles, how many of those cracked the top 100 in sales? And that was for me to get an idea of demand for those. They couldn't give me one. Him and his band of people that he's talking to, he's chilling with now, they couldn't give me one game out of 100.
Look at Capcom and Konami. Like, they were giants. They were, just juggernauts, right? Look at what they are now. They're a mere shell. And those were the biggest Japanese publishers over there, right? You got to admit, to a certain point, regardless if you're a fan of that genre or not, it is dying. And it sucks for people to like it, but the harsh reality is people just don't care. They don't resonate with those titles, the majority of the people. And you got to have a title to rationalize the sequel. Simple as that.
With us talking about this, Don, I want to hear what you think about this. You went back to the beginning, Nintendo. All right, that's part of the beginning. I know Atari was first and all that good shit, and even consoles before that. But and you said they were all Japanese titles. Do you think there's kind of like a Western transition going on with the gaming consumer, that they want the more westernized titles as compared to what they've kind of grown up with? Like, they want something newer in terms of what they'll buy? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's the quality of the product, to be honest with you. That's a big part of it. And then, there's definitely a style that where, they want a game that they can feel a little bit more grounded and in a world they're a little bit more part of, right?
Yeah.
A lot of like the stereotype Japanese titles, like Japanese schoolgirls and stuff like that. They just like, a lot of us are like, what is this, right? We just don't get it. Or some weird talking character. Like you can't tell if it's a jelly bean or an animal or whatever it is, right? Like
how come I think you're talking about Dragon Quest with that one, dude?
Making up stuff as I go, but like the
No,
whole point
Dragon Quest has characters like
Yep.
that.
it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
that's just
Yes,
off the
it
top
does.
of my head. So you guys just pull whatever title that came to your mind. The point is like the development of Japanese games have fallen behind the major high-end titles. They really have. Unfortunately, they have fallen behind the mark, and they're playing catch up. And in the wake of all that, scaling to more powerful hardware, the big publishers are just hurting. And the it's actually the U.S. publishers, the U.S. Development teams. I'll throw UK in there. They're big, just as much as part of it, and Canada, and kind of that Western culture. That is just simply taken off like crazy. And Japan's just kind of created themselves a little of a bubble. They have their own games that are there now with region free and digital. You can access those titles, but it's only going to be accessed on the hardware that's popular in that region, which is PlayStation. So I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, if you like those titles and you want to play them, that's a great console to go buy it for.
Thank you.
But I personally, if I wanted those titles, that's why I would buy that console. But you don't have to force it. If the developers do not want to put it on that hardware or anything like that, or Microsoft can't make it enticing enough for them, it just is what it is, and that's what competition is, and that's fine. I mean, there are two products from different regions of the world. They're going to have different flavors, right? I mean, Fritos are not going to taste like sushi. And vice versa. I mean, come on.
Dude, I had Fritos today, actually. Yeah, that's funny. Don, I don't think it's necessarily a fact of Microsoft enticing the developers. From what I've seen from Microsoft, when I started getting into like the 360 era, when I started getting into like the business side of video games and stuff like that, and going into this generation, and with Microsoft, I saw them slowly turning over to consumer feedback, and that is one of the things that really drives Microsoft in terms of their devices, Microsoft in terms of their software, and the Xbox division as well. And I think it was the fact that they can look at the numbers. You look at the numbers on the PlayStation 4 side when people are talking about like these Japanese titles, and it doesn't even have to be JRPGs, all right? You look at like One Piece, you look at Attack on Titan, those types of games, right? They didn't sell well on the PlayStation 4 to the point where they actually came over on Xbox One because they didn't hit those expectations, those sales expectations, and they came over and they were able to come over onto this platform. I think it's about numbers, and if you look at the numbers for these Japanese titles, if you look at them in the UK, if you look at them in the United States, and I haven't looked at the rest of the world, but I'm pretty sure, United States and the UK are like number 1 and number 2 in how much fucking money is spent on shit like this. You know what I'm saying? And you don't see the numbers there. Why would you invest in that software?
I wouldn't. If it was my money, I wouldn't. Like, not just because the most amateur business move you can do, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, hey, I want to open the store, and then all I want to do is sell his hats because I'm really passionate about hats, for example, right? Well, not everyone is, and there's not really that support to do it. It's not, right? And it's the same way with this. People want you to invest what they're passionate about, but the reality is not enough people are in the same passion as you. It just is what it is. I mean, like I've been inspired by a lot of Japanese titles, like my artwork and stuff that I do, but oh, come on, K-Mega, come on.
I'm just saying.
You play more Japanese titles than the rest of us here.
I do, and that's why I'm saying. I mean, let the man with the expertise talk.
He's waiting to talk right now. Like,
yeah, because I've been waiting, but no, I just let me.
No, go for it.
No, because you're gonna have the next segment is gonna be you and Newark's when it comes to when it talks about the tech.
Hardware.
Yeah, it talks about the hardware, the tech. Because I'm really gonna shut the fuck up then. But I gotta say, I got.
Yeah, say your piece.
I'm itching. Okay, look, I'm gonna take it back to okay, back then in the 90s in the PlayStation, because I started playing JRPGs on the PlayStation 1. They were a lot cheaper to play. To make back then.
Mhm.
It was, I'm saying, the whole thing with putting the game on the disc, that was a lot cheaper, all of that. So you could come out with a whole force of those type of games, and people could generate, and if they liked them, they liked them, they not. I could just remember, back then I'm over here playing Wild Arms. That was the very first RPG that I played. And I was like, wow, this is tight. But then I had friends that would come over and like, what the fuck are you playing, bro? I'm like, man, this is some kind of RPG something. I don't know. It's tight though, And so they looked at it like, oh man, let's play some Tekken, And so, Street Fighter or whatever. It's always been that way here in the United States. It's always been a niche market. It's just that there's people that like them and there's people that don't. The thing of it is like I've been telling a lot of Xbox fans. Even the people that's been saying that Xbox needs to do more, just wait, be patient. Microsoft came into a crazy situation in 2013 like we've never seen them come in. Even when they at the launch of the OG Xbox, it wasn't as it wasn't as bad as 2013. Any other company that didn't have the money to back them would probably close their doors right now. You see what I'm saying? As bad as 2013 was for Microsoft. Now, they did sell, but they still caught so much scrutiny from everybody that nobody didn't give them, it almost seemed like Microsoft was going to, the rumors that they was going to trade and all that shit. Now they got their footing. It's like what you said, Bot. They just want to be patient and just don't want to throw some game in that isn't going to sell. And all that's going to do is just step back and hurt the next game that might sell well for Microsoft. Mm-hmm. So now, as we're seeing, go ahead.
Mega, no, yeah, I just want to jump on something you said real quick, and then you could definitely go forward. But when you said about the launch in 2013, now mm-hmm. do you? I believe this. All right. When it came to the launch in 2013, a new IP like Rise came out, but there was already so many dark clouds over the launch of the X1. I feel like that hampered sales of that game. And then everything was about resolution war after that. And I feel like with the media bias, like really leaning towards Sony PlayStation and this resolution war that was going on, I also believe it hampered sales for the new IPs that came out a year down the line, a year and a half down the line. You see what I'm saying? Because
no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I think that's what also hurt Quantum Break, because that's when Xbox was actually trying to come into its own. But where Microsoft made the mistake is that they didn't advertise that game well. But you also got to put this in consideration, is that they were going through new management. They had a new CEO coming to take over Microsoft. They had all those employees that they were going to bring from Nokia. They also had people from, Phil Spencer was taking over from Matrick. Everything was changing, plus the fact that they had to rearrange the Xbox to cater to the fan base, because a lot of people were like, fuck that. I don't want to connect. I don't want this $500 system. I want what the PlayStation is giving. You know what I'm saying? This whole new UI. Why is it not like the 360? Why we don't have music? Why we don't have this? There were so many things that they had to change and work on. Their first priority was not bringing the RPGs in, the JRPGs, like they did during the 360. And really, if you look at the history, which I have through the they did bring a few JRPGs through the first 3 years, but after the third year, that's when the JRPGs really started coming in. If you go into the 360, which the 360 was masterful when it came with bringing JRPGs, the big ones didn't really start coming until at 2009. You can go and look at it yourself, Google it. And it's the same thing for, like I said, with exceptions. There were JRPGs, but not as abundant as it was in the from 2009 and in 2004 with the OG Xbox.
Yo, Mega, I love where you're going with this. I just want to top off something, because you're going back in time, and I do want to say I don't know how many times when it came to the PlayStation 1 with me, because I had a PS1, I absolutely loved my PlayStation 1. I just don't know how many times I got ripped off with a crappy ass game because I didn't know what the fuck it was. Exactly. And it looked interesting on the cover. And then with my boys, because I didn't get a PlayStation 2, but I had friends like we hung out on a daily basis, like we were brothers, yo. And they had a PlayStation 2. We used to go to the mall, go to the store to go pick up a new game. I don't know how many times my boy John, yo, big shout out to John, how many times he got burned. All right, because this game looked interesting. It was straight from Japan. We bring it home, total crap. Absolute crap, yo.
Yeah, I had a regular PlayStation 1, and then I had a modded PlayStation 1. So I would get those crazy ass games that wouldn't come to the United States. And I would play some of them. There was some that was really freaking awesome. Like there was this Dragon Ball Z game that was really cool. There was this one game, I don't even know the name. It was an all in Cantonese and shit. It didn't have no English in it, but it was cool for what I could play. But other games was just absolutely stupid. There was no way in hell that it could come to the US and it could survive. But PlayStation could throw all those games at you back then because they didn't cost as much. Now it's a different story. Every time that you bring out a game, it's almost at the point of a movie production unless it's a damn indie. So PlayStation has always been PlayStation. That's what people don't understand. They have not diverse. They have always been the same. They have never changed their MO. Never. Xbox has came out with the most diverse launch in their history. I don't understand how anybody can say that they're still staying to the same. Hell, PlayStation and the Japanese developers were trying so hard to find the next Halo and the next Call of Duty that fucking Capcom almost closed themselves down. Like Don said, they fucking are shelling themselves because they wouldn't bring back what the shit that we loved, like Onimushu and Power Stone, etc. They over here wanted to overkill with fucking Resident Evil and change it into like this action game because they want the West money.
Yes.
Why in the hell are people still trying to talk about and cater to JRPGs when the fact is Microsoft stay patient? The Japanese market is going to have to come to the West because PlayStation, with all the bragging about 300 million, this, that, blah, 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 50 million fucking consoles, and your bastards don't even do it. Look, let's just be honest here, right? Exclusives, everything is down now. Everything is down except for the multiplats. Okay, but we got close to 100 million consoles when you put the Xbox and the PlayStation together. We got close to 100 million.
Close to 100 million.
And you sons of bitches will be quick to brag about that sold 1.5 million. Shut the fuck up. You're making an ass out of yourself. That's what you're doing. Shut up. That sounds like trash to me. If any game is Street Fighter 5. I like the game. I didn't like it at launch, but I like it now. It's dope. It's beautiful.
It was broken at launch, man.
Yes, but you know what? It was the worst selling Street Fighter in the history.
Mm-hmm.
In the history. And you know what? Because look at Titanfall. Look at Tomb Raider. Oh, it was going to come to, they all catered to the PlayStation. And what did the PlayStation fan base do to them? They fucked them. They don't buy their games. It's just a fact. I'm not saying that to be an asshole because I love all games, but I'm just being a realist.
Yo, Mega, let's just put it out there. Yo,
Same with RPGs.
On the PS4, what is the highest selling title right now? Do you know?
Uncharted. Oh, no. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. All right.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
Like how many titles from Japan are like, yo, I put top 100 for when they came out and stuff like that, to Iron Wolf, and like I said, they didn't come back with a single one. But how many, if you're looking right now, how many PS4 like Japanese titles are in the top 5 selling globally?
None. Zero.
Fucking
zilch.
none.
That's the thing that I'm talking about. You can take y'all's punk asses over there to the PlayStation Nation and enjoy that L, because you'll be coming right back when the Scorpio comes and when all those JRPGs, when the Japanese market will see, God damn it, these motherfuckers, we got 50 goddamn million fucking consoles in this bitch, and they are not buying our games. Yeah. They're not buying them. So we got to ask Microsoft, can you take our games? Killer Phil is doing the right thing. Be patient. Be like I say, it's like macking to a chick. I'll have to tell this to TReaper when we get off the air. Be like a Komodo dragon. Strike, Go back and wait. That's all Xbox needs to do. Killer Field is doing a masterful job. Be focused on your exclusive IPs and leave the rest alone. Everything else will fall in place.
Nice.
The other sad part about the whole thing that the Call of Duty is the #1 console selling game is it's down 50% from Black Ops 3.
Absolutely.
So that's the saddest part of that fact. Is the fact that you have a game that's population is down 50% from last year and it's still #1. That is like the saddest fact of like it. Besides the JRPGs needs to be more on Xbox, you know, the fact that Call of Duty is still #1 after a 50% drop is just pathetic.
So let's come at this at a slightly different question, right? So if you're Microsoft and you want to make a Japanese based title, who in the hell do you get to make it?
Platinum Games.
Well, Platinum Games.
Yeah, but that's my point. Keep going. Who else? If you could get Platinum Games, who would
Capcom
you get?
and Square Enix,
Square.
the people who the developers who made Final Fantasy. That's who, like they did Lost Odyssey. Like I still think that.
Well, so that's my point.
Yeah.
Is there's not a lot to choose from that's worth your time or your money.
Well, no. Look, Final Fantasy is the dim creme of. Did I say that right? That's
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
Yes.
Thank you. Is the top notch when it comes to the JRPGs. What's killing JRPGs right now is that people like motion. That's why Final Fantasy has gone to these whole new aspect. At first, I didn't like it. I was like, "What the fuck am I playing?" But the more I start playing it, I'm not nowhere near where TReaper is, but the more I start playing it, the more I start liking it.
Console,
yeah,
man.
The RPGs that's doing the most right now is the Skyrims, is the Witchers, because people want to move, they want to have access to their character. People like common things, man. That's why I feel like one of the reasons why the PlayStation is the #1 selling consoles, because people like the familiar. I think that was another problem where X1 had, is because they overhauled the interface, which I liked it, but when I first jumped on, I'm like, what the hell? It was foreign. When people grabbed their PlayStation 4, it was familiar to them, just like it was like the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
It's uniform.
It's uniform. So and with the Pro, it's still all uniform. So Xbox made a lot of mistakes, but they're trying to get this shit back. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, they had to make all these adjustments in order for them to get to the point to where they're at right now. Now, watch the overflow of games come. We're already seeing that now. I post them on Twitter every time I see one.
Yeah, well, the main thing is when you posted those two Japanese titles, that's what kind of sparked it all, because then Wolf came and said, well, we have over 100 over here, and I was like, yeah, but you guys ain't buying shit right now.
Out of those 100 titles, how many of them do you actually give a damn about? Yeah. That's my question. That's my question. Out of those 100 titles, not only which ones do actually sell the top 5, but which ones do you actually care the most about to name? Oh, I named this Game of the Year, or I named this the best JRPG in this decade, or
you're giving it too much credit. How about you just buy it?
Yeah, or you can buy it. Yeah. How much are you actually worth your money to buy?
You're actually gonna actually buy the damn game and play it, right? So like, if you're not gonna buy it, don't.
If you're not gonna buy it, I wouldn't count it. That's just the way I work.
Yeah, I just think list wars are stupid, honestly, on both sides, but. Because I get excited about games because I want to play them. I want to buy them, right? Mm-hmm. And I share those with individuals because I want to share a common interest, not that I want to hold something over someone's head. The fact that there's this group of people that's trying to hold it over people's head about a certain niche market that's really dying. Believe it or not, it's dying. It's just called what it is.
I think there's a Western change going on here. Like, we've gotten so used to, like, what Don said when it comes to Nintendo and the 8-bit, like, that a piece of the Japanese library came out worldwide, but we've been dealing with that for so long. The Japanese, and they haven't really innovated anything. They just kind of kept the same way. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't different, like, gems out there, different games from Japan that innovated certain things and stuff like that. But if you look at the JRPG structure, except for Final Fantasy, the newer Final Fantasies that went away from turn-based, you're basically getting the same thing over and over again with new characters and different kind of looking enemies. But I think the gaming consumer is speaking with their wallet.
Exactly.
Well,
Well,
even-
this is. Let me say this. You know, I'm about to cut your ass off. Shut up. No, man. no. Let me just say this.
Yourself up now.
The Japanese market has gotten late. Well, not the market. The Japanese developer has gotten lazy. They were so used to just oversaturating the market with just, okay, here's part one. A year and a half later, not even 2 damn years, there would be a part 2, damn, and then they would just throw them at you, and they would all be kind of like the same. So that would be cool for the player, for the gamer that enjoyed that game, because they could be familiar with how that game was. It doesn't work like that. People are a lot more technical. They like to look at gameplay. They like to do that. Look, all you got to do is go and look at go to the PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, Nintendo, wherever, and see how many JRPGs you can have a test run with. If you don't see that there's not a lot of them, or if none out there that you could do a test run, that means that they don't have confidence in their own product. That's just simple. That's just simple, you know, one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, business. If they just throwing out a game, if it's not big budget, they don't want you to see it. It used to be easy, like Bot said. It was right there, it had a cool picture, I'm going to buy it. Remember, Sony is the king of marketing. So they were really slick on how they would promote people, like, damn, that game looked tight. You get it, you might not like it, but back then you just had to take an L. Now consumers are a lot more, you know, involved, and they understand that, look, if this game is dog shit, I'm going to take it back to the store.
Well, I'm going to look back at the original PlayStation. Some of the marquee titles on that system were American titles, and they weren't Japanese, and people didn't realize it. So Twisted Metal, that was David Jaffe. That was his team here in the United States.
Fantastic
right?
game.
You know, iconic game for PlayStation, right? God of War, another iconic game. American-made game, right? Like, the biggest titles for that system and then became iconic titles were US developed. So they were starting to fall behind even then at the very beginning. And we're just now seeing all this stuff kind of come full circle. I don't want Japanese development to go away, but you know, if you can't compete, you can't compete. And I'm sorry, you just got to step out.
Well, it's not so much about not competing, Don. It's about getting off your ass and doing your due diligence, working hard at your product. They used to being lazy and just throwing out whatever and making money off of it. It's not like that now. That's what's killing them. The Western developers didn't have a leg to stand on. They were, every time that they made something, they got shitted on because everybody thought that it was a Japanese game.
Mega. Think about this. I hear you talking about like the quote unquote lazy developers and stuff, and you know, that's a really good point. But if you think about this, think about where Japan and the Japanese culture is going right now. Do you notice like the Japanese culture, like what people are buying? It's not console based anymore. It's handhelds. It looks like Japan has moved on away from that stuff. And
yeah.
So if you're a developer living in Japan and you're making games, you're like, well, I you know, this was the source of money for these developers, because not a lot of them went out to the West or anything like that. If the source of your money is moving on to something else, right? What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, just look at what, Konami and Kojima, right? Kojima's old school. He's like, look, I got this, you know, I'm bringing in Metal Gear Solid, and I'm doing this, and I want this huge, magnificent budget. But remember, Konami has been going another direction, like everybody's been saying. It's like, well, we're seeing the money in the phones, you know, in mobile, all this stuff. And Kojima's still staying like, look, I want to do this and I want this budget. Well,
that's not a clear picture. Kojima kept pushing back his budget,
I know that. Well,
he wasn't transparent with his boss, basically, and just kept asking for more money versus building a product within the proper development time. Like, I don't hate the guy, but like, you have to call it out how it is. Like, that's the reason why you got locked away in a room.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying to you. He's old school. He wanted this big budget because he was basically telling Konami that this game is going to sell off the racks. And it got all the hype, it got all the publicity, it got tens, it's got high Metacritic scores and everything, but the consumer jumped on that game, and there were some people that liked it, there were some people that didn't, and it sold well, but it didn't equate to anything that probably Kojima was trying to give to him, and Konami was like, fuck this is bullshit, we're finna change the game. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that if I have to respect Kojima because he wants to do the big budget.
Yo, hold on. No, you're gonna let me talk. You're gonna let me talk. Yo, don't fucking respect Kojima. First of all, like, a lot of people in the gaming industry forgot what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5. Before the actual game came out, he put out a glorified demo. And
I
then
paid $40 for that shit. Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Let me finish
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
All right. He said to the West that, like, yeah, this is what you're getting. It was either $30 or $40. He was like, the reason why we're doing this is because we're not sure if you guys know how to play this game. So the dude gets no respect. All right. If you're gonna come out and say that shit, like, we haven't supported your Metal Gears in the past. You see what I'm saying?
No,
and
I got what you're saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying I respect the part about he wanted to make a big budget game. Japanese developers don't want to do that, or they want to go another direction and try to copy the West. That's what I was saying. I'm not talking about the individual himself. He's overhyped. Kojima's overhyped. After the Enders, I love those games. I can't. Zone of the Enders. After Zone of the Enders, I was done. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know that they had the other Metal Gear, whatever. I didn't like 4, 5. I got it. I like it. It's beautiful, but I still haven't even beat it yet. It's just lost my interest. But I'll still got to go because I paid money fucking for it and I bought it digital. But the point of the matter is that he at least he wants to make a big budget game. That's something that I got respect for that aspect. Not for the individual. It's like that crazy motherfucker that made that was the original maker of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive.
Oh,
he's wild. He's a crazy bastard, but he wanted to make his games look and feel and play like big budget AAA games, and I enjoy that. Developers, they don't know where they want to go because their market wants them to go another direction. That's all I'm saying, and that's why the West got a chance to show what they have, and now they are taking over the market.
Do you guys?
You're onto something, but there's a small tweak to what you're saying is the publishers don't trust them with that much money. That's the problem. So that's what's going on, because when I develop whatever I'm developing, right, and I go to a publisher and say, I want X number of dollars. This is the grand scope of what I want to do, right? When you have a track record that you constantly do not perform within budget, right? That's when they're like, well, maybe guys like Kojima are not worth the time or effort as a publisher. And that's the reason why they're looking at other avenues, because people have been irresponsible leading up to that. So, I mean, everything has a cause and an effect, you can't really take one away from the other. It's just, Japanese developments, and it's in a tough spot, to be honest with you. I really feel bad for that group.
Shout out to the 90 people watching. Hit that like button.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Show some love.
I'm surprised we ain't got no dislikes, but after my comment now, we probably end up with a few.
Don, I do gotta say, breaking away from topic real quick, I'm watching your gameplay right now, and it is absolutely amazing. Like that,
you tripping?
That looks so pretty.
You tripping, bot? It is absolutely.
It's Cocaine Mountain.
It's
Cocaine Mountain.
Cocaine Mountain.
It's that addictive. Like, that thing is super addictive gameplay. It's ridiculous.
It's funny, man. Somebody's got to poke Fooskies over here. Yo, Foos, are you still awake?
Damn.
Foos?
Foos. Damn.
Foos.
Damn.
Is he muted, yo? Oh, there you
go.
go.
You lost Foos.
You hear me?
Yeah, what's going on,
Yo,
man?
I don't know. I think my mic
like that drool off your mouth, man. It's knocked out.
Yo, no, the thing is I've been saying little zingers and all this shit, and I thought y'all was ignoring me, so I was like, fuck y'all.
Yeah. Dude, yo,
sorry, Foos. Me and Don went off, man. I'm sorry.
No, he said his mic was muted.
Yeah, someone's with the mic. It's all good. What's up?
What's going on, man? Yo, I want to hear what you think about this whole Japanese games need to come to Xbox. Do you agree with it? I mean, we've had a bunch of opinions already, man. I want to know where you stand, man. What do you think?
I feel like everybody on this panel pretty much said what I was feeling, and then K Mega came in and dotted all the I's and crossed the T's for me.
Oh,
But
Sorry, man.
yeah, I
Sorry.
guess the only thing I can say is what you said earlier about it goes by the install base of how Xbox is in Japan, and it's laughable. And that's where most of those games are going to sell, honestly, because
yeah.
like y'all said, they don't sell here. So if Xbox doesn't see something happening there, why would they start making those games as accessible? I feel like what we
Exactly.
have is we got Final Fantasy, and that game is awesome,
Mhm.
and those are really the only Japanese games I've ever really
Well,
been into
Kingdom
myself.
Hearts 3 is coming. I'm actually excited for that. I wish they would make like that 2.8 or whatever. I wish they would bring that
They
over to
can't do
Xbox.
that because
Yo,
it's not under it's still those games are under Sony licensing still, so they can't like give that to
That
Microsoft.
sucks, man.
It's
Microsoft
all
I think
good.
yeah,
I think
but
Microsoft only
Sony
owns
also owns
three.
part of Square at the same time,
but
as
what about
well.
the Final Fantasy where they're gonna have 1 through 10, I believe, on one disc? Like everything's
All right,
everything.
all right,
Yeah,
well,
that would be fucking
dude, I
dope. I
haven't heard
buy
anything
that
about
like
that
three
But
coming to
yeah,
times.
Xbox, yo. I haven't
every
heard
and
anything.
somebody was like, "Why isn't it coming to Xbox?" You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's just crazy.
That
Well,
well,
They
why
probably
isn't it
don't
coming
own
to
those rights.
Xbox though?
it,
Like,
it, it could. That's the thing, PC. Okay, see, PlayStation, where PlayStation is different from Microsoft. Microsoft is quick to let the fan base know, sometimes a little bit too much, and then they let the media like drill the developers and whoever, and then they just spill the beans. PlayStation don't ever open their mouths. You don't ever hear them say, well, this game is not going to be an exclusive. I mean, you just got to listen to the slick wording that they
yeah.
say, like first on PlayStation or something like that. They always keep tight lip, and the media doesn't drill them. So I don't see, as now as we've seen more Final Fantasies come to the 360 and to the Xbox One, that they wouldn't have a chance to get a hold of that piece of that game, because they want the money. It's all about money. Fuck being having allegiance, because as we see that PlayStation, as much as they have this big fan base, their fans are not buying these games. So you need to get support wherever you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because developing these games, man, they spend more money than these, man. Like it's crazy, and they need to get that money back somehow. So
Dude, I don't know. Like when it comes down to it, we have an absolute variety of games on our preferred platform. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really disappointed that when it came down to it, Sunset Overdrive didn't sell as much as I thought it would, because the game is spectacular. The gameplay mechanics are on point. It's colorful, it's bright, it's funny. You get a sense of accomplishment when you beat the game. It has everything a good game like needs. You know what I'm saying? So I was disappointed about that. But when it comes to these Japanese games, like I'm glad Fuski definitely agree with me. We don't like as the Xbox division doesn't have a foothold in Japan. Like the Xbox does not sell there, so there isn't that I guess emergency whatever. Xbox does not have a place to sell Japanese games at some type of volume. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a businessman, why would you invest, put your money in on something that you know sells in a territory that you just cannot get a foothold on? I don't understand. I don't understand how this is such
It's
a major
suicide.
argument in social media and stuff like that. If you look at it with common sense, all right, and you look at it as not just being a gamer, all right, looking at it as being a gamer, you're gonna turn a blind eye towards like common sense business practices. All right, you got to look at both sides of the spectrum, and when you look at both sides of the spectrum, it doesn't look like anything profitable for Xbox. Now, I think they put out Lost Odyssey free, backwards compatibility and stuff like that,
Mhm.
because they are testing those waters. The one
Yep.
thing that you're getting with Microsoft, with Xbox, is they listen to people. They're on social media. They're seeing what's going on, and they're trying to accommodate. All right, that's way more than you could say for Sony.
Yeah,
Okay, now
the
let me
timing
say
on those games coming out was impeccable with all this shit that's going on in the communities too. You know, they were like, "Hey,
absolutely.
here's
Yep.
some Lost Odyssey, buddy.
Yep.
Here's some Blue Dragon."
And check this out. Shout out to Kelvin, our boy.
Brandon.
Brandon. Yeah, our boy Kelvin. He did say this, and I did forget this, that Final Fantasy 1 through 6 is on Nintendo. And remember, we was hearing these rumblings about Xbox, Nintendo working on something.
Mm-hmm.
So all you would be needing is Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 10. I don't know if there was a 9, because if there was a 9, I didn't play it, but I know it was a 7, 8, and 10. Which 10 is still one of my favorite Final Fantasy. Well, it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time. My favorite story is 7. But regardless, if you can work that to get those other 3, and then and then like maybe the rumors that's been coming up about Final Fantasy 14 coming out, which that's an online game. Why would I need a PlayStation? Because you will have the best of the best right there. I understand that there's Ark of the Lad and Wild Arms and stuff like that. Well, but PlayStation's not making them. Only thing they're making is Dragon Quest. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't miss out on that 4K checkerboard. I hear it's hotter than that native.
Oh, yeah. There goes the zingers, man. Yo, make sure your microphone's not on mute anymore. Yo.
I got you.
Well, guys, let's move on, since we basically covered the whole Japanese games on Xbox. If they do come and you're interested, awesome. More power to you. Applaud. Everything's great. Confetti falls from the sky. All that good shit. If it doesn't come to the system, there's always a system that you can buy that will have that for you. We don't sit here and say, well, you gotta buy Xbox just because we prefer Xbox. If you see a bunch of games that you want to get into and they're on another platform, man, I will roll out the red carpet, open the door for you as you head in to GameStop to buy your system. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you start attacking this platform and you're not looking at the business sense behind it and why they're not on this platform to that extent, I'm going to call you out. It's what I'm going to do.
Evil bot. That's what he said when bot goes hard is evil bot in this motherfucker.
Yeah, like I said, Snaps is not. She don't have me locked down right now, man. Yeah, and it was funny as I was saying that we have the Toad doing the thrust right now.
Yeah, that's how we get it done right there.
Well, since TheDon is showing off his gameplay, let's get into hardware. All right, AMD finally unveiled the Zen processor, or should I say RyZen. And with this conference that they put out there, man, there was a lot of information. There was some information lacking as well, but there was a lot of information about the performance of this brand new CPU from AMD. I mean, they compared it to an $1,100 Intel CPU, and it was either on par or better than that thing. And me, Mega, and Don, we actually did a live show a while back. It was actually a while back. I just brought it back up on Twitter, where we were talking about the possibilities with Scorpio. So Don, I'm gonna let you run with it, and of course, Newark, you're gonna chime in because you are another hardware dude. Yo, Don, what do you think when it comes to the Ryzen CPU? Does this thing sound like too good to be true, man? First and foremost.
It sounds right for AMD. A lot of times they're not necessarily the quickest on the market on certain fronts, but when they do, their yields are to a point that they're able to undercut their competition in regards to that. And this is kind of what we're seeing right now with RyZen. What was interesting, what they showed us on RyZen was it was the benchmark CPU that they're going to offer. The CEO went on stage and said there's a variety of devices that RyZen is going to be used on, but today we're showing the PC Tower version of that essentially. we're not showing laptop variants. We're not showing anything other devices that we're going to be putting this in. But we're going to be showing basically the desktop variant of that CPU, and it's about 10% gains depending on the application and stuff like that on certain things. So and that's huge. Like for me, I do graphic stuff. A lot of it is CPU intensive. One of the demos they showed after the presentation was it was actually I think he was the artist that redid the whole entire Master Chief look on Halo 4 and Halo 5. He's the guy that left 343 before 5 came out, between 4 and 5. He's really kind of contracted out to a lot of different companies, and he showed him using some of his work in ZBrush, and it was huge. The actual difference, what we saw in the actual product, was pretty phenomenal from what I've seen. I use an i7 right now, so it was a big jump. But a lot of the talk is this in Scorpio, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get to here. So what do you think, man?
Yeah, so I claimed in that earlier video that we talked about, I put the stake in the ground. They're most likely they're going to be using Zen at the time, which is known as RyZen now. And I still stand behind that. I don't think it's going to be the one they show as the desktop variant. I think it's going to be a laptop variant. Every feature set about that chipset screams and matches up with what you would need for a 4K device in regards to that. Was also interesting.
Do you think the laptop variant would still, because Xbox, Phil Spencer, they're saying 4K 60 frames per second. They're talking about the Scorpio, beast of a machine. And in the conference, I talked to a few people in the conference. I heard some of the stuff that was said. They said AMD was like almost force feeding that the RyZen with the Vega GPU architecture is the optimal platform for 4K 60, and they were saying it pretty much mirroring Xbox. So do you think it's going to be a laptop version?
Well, they showed the slide right beforehand. It's like, and in our next project is a 4K machine and high-end VR, and then they had Project Scorpio, and then they moved on to, and
they did it real quick, right?
Basically, so what's really funny is when they showed a slide about I forget what the current GPU that they have out right now. This is the newest one, Polaris. They're showing this is entry level for VR, which is what the PS4 Pro is based off of. So entry level VR, based graphics card in a little bit higher end than what they had in the past in that certain price point. Then they talked about what their future projects are, which is Project Scorpio. And then he said, you know what? And then we're going to talk about what we're going to come out right now. And that's what was RyZen. So there's obviously a direct connection. But if you do the math, like realistically, you gain about a 30% increase in power just through optimization in a console, right? AMD has been on record to say this. So you can have a 30 to 20% less powerful that we saw on stage and still get the same performance in a console environment. What that screams to me is of that chip in regards to that. You're not going to see any like decrease on the final product that we're going to get. An optimized hardware. It's a console in regards to that, and that also puts it realistically within the price points that people are arguing about that are a little more realistic about where the price point is. I think RyZen's huge, and I think Zen's a big part of it too.
Do you think we're gonna get it? Do you think the laptop variant of the RyZen? Do you think it's gonna have the same amount of level 3 and level 2 cache that they were showing with the RyZen that they were showing in the presentation? Because
I don't know where
that was astronomical, dude.
Well, I don't know where they're going to cut back on that. I don't think they're going to cut back on the cache and all that sort of stuff. I think it's going to be the clock. That's the easiest thing for them to do.
Okay.
Is to cut back the clock, and that will manage the heats in smaller spaces and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Do you think that AMD Sense that they were talking about is going to be in the Scorpio? Because that sounds pretty awesome.
Just the AMD what?
the AMD Sense technology that they announced with the
Oh yeah.
sensors that learn
Oh,
and
absolutely,
do all.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because that's why I said those are the tech pieces of screen console. It's the cache, so you don't have to dump a bunch of information back in the RAM. It can
Exactly.
live in the chip. It's a
Exactly.
lot smarter of a chip too. Like it knows and how to optimizes the workflow and the scheduler and all that sort of stuff. And the ability you can upclock and downclock on the fly within milliseconds, right? Based on heat demands, which is not overclock. If you're within heat yields, it's not considered overclock. It's just upclocking, right? It's running at a higher clock speed as long as you don't go past certain heat yields. So, I mean, and if you look at how Xbox One is designed and how they've learned with just generating the biggest fan possible on a console, right? Like they've learned their lessons on managing heat, right? Their console developer out there right now. So, you know, you think you're going to stick with a big giant fan with the next Scorpio? Absolutely. Is it going to be able to take advantage of all the sensors and all that sort of stuff? Absolutely. I just think overall it's going to be a lower clock, and that's most likely what most laptop variants are. A little bit less power consumption, those sort of things. That allows you to put power supplies inside the console if you wanted to do that sort of thing.
Well, see, the
And I think
the reason why I ask, like, if you really think about, like, if they're putting a laptop variant of the CPU into Scorpio, is because if you look at the price of this thing, like, and I know they didn't state this officially. I'm going off like people I talk to in the industry and stuff. You're looking at like a $600 CPU to the average consumer. That's not to businesses buying in bulk. It's not to businesses that have marketing deals or anything like that. It's to the average consumer. So to me, it's not that far fetched that thing that they showed could possibly be in the console.
Well, there's a couple of key components you got to keep in mind, and what I don't want to do is get the hopes way too high for Xbox.
So you're
guys,
aiming
right?
low, and then anything else is kind
Yeah,
of like the
yeah,
cherry on
anything
top.
above that. Yeah, and then you got to keep in mind everything they told us at E3 is that, right? If you're going to hit every one of those marks or go above it, that's the goal, right? When you develop stuff like that, and you're trying to be flexible. So when I said like, yeah, the GPU is most likely going to be Vega, and I'm one of the first people on record. Even when I said it, you even like, oh, what the hell, Vega, really, Don, really?
Well, I was on the fence about it. I think our biggest in that discussion we had, our biggest difference at that point in time was probably the system memory.
Yeah, well, and I just don't know where the system memory is going to be, but Vega can do.
They were touting DDR4 in the presentation.
Vega can do different types of RAM. We just know from the HBM leak documents that it can do that, and that's the pinnacle product. But the thing is, Vega is just as much as important as the actual chipset is in the amount of RAM and the type of RAM, and basically what that memory bus is going to be. All that stuff is important. So Phil Spencer's been on record as well. We want to make sure we have a balance system. So when they're debating how much are they going to dedicate to the GPU, how much are going to dedicate to the CPU, and how much they're going to dedicate to the RAM, they want to make sure they can cover all engine types, not just the X12 engines. I'm going to be on record on saying that, right?
Yeah.
And the way that you do that is you got to make sure it's balanced across the board, not just alienate a certain particular group that's not using the latest and greatest tech that's out there. So that's where they made a mistake with Xbox One. I mean, if you ask me like where they made the mistake, is they made a console does really well within certain confines, DX12, but they don't do well within DX11. All the other stuff kind of hinders the console. I think that's what they've learned with going forward. Even though they're pushing DX12, for those developers who are not ready, they're going to still get great performance out of the console.
DX12, you're going to get a natural progression. I mean, just not for anything, but the tools and everything that make up DirectX 12. It's going to be the industry standard. Of course, you're going to have like slower adopters and stuff like that, and the fact that the PlayStation doesn't even fully like support Vulkan, which is like the OpenGL alternative, or it used to be Mantle. It's the OpenGL alternative to DirectX 12, and the PlayStation 4 doesn't even fully support that. You know what I'm saying?
No, it barely supports any portion of that. To be totally honest with you, just because a Huma gets in the way of that, and people may get upset when I say that, but every developer that develops on that hardware knows exactly what I'm talking about. The Huma, the way it dedicates certain things to the GPU and CPU, it's hard to predict all the different cores running simultaneously and have them threading together. That's why it has. That's why Vulkan hasn't really been pushed on that hardware. But I want to close with this because everyone else, I'm taking up a lot of time. But um, I think Vega is just as much as important as this Ryzen CPU. And I think what we're going to see is, when we see Vega, it's most likely going to be this 12 terabyte card that's been rumored. That is not what we're going to be getting in our our Scorpio. Let's be realistic.
No,
Matter of fact,
they'll tune that down.
Where that original rumor, like before we even did that one podcast, where some people are saying it's going to be a 10 terabyte system. That's where it came from, because most likely it's that chip, but they cut it down. So that way, when they're dealing with their yields and stuff like that, it's actually much more affordable to have that. You don't have basically as much garbage, is because the problem with like a really high-end chip, what a lot of people don't realize is when they develop a chip and they manufacture that chip, there's a lot of waste. There's a lot of chips that just don't make it through the gate, if that makes any sense. They're just garbage. They didn't come through the factory. They weren't built right. And so they have to throw that away. But if you block off what they call a cut down, they cut down the chip and they do a semi-custom for their particular needs, it's much easier to hit those yields when you start with a really powerful chip and you whittle it down versus starting with something that's really maxing out at 5.5 and trying to bump it up. So that's why I'm not so much on the Polaris architecture being in the new system, because it's like taking a 4-cylinder engine and bumping up to 500 horsepower. You can do that, right?
My boy has a CRX that does that. So yeah.
But
he doesn't drive it all day
consumer,
though.
For an average consumer, that's not a very reliable engine. It just isn't.
It's not dependable. It burns out. It burns out so quick.
Yeah. So that's my whole reason why Polaris is most likely not part of this new system, and why I think Vega is part of it is because Vega is basically like taking the V8 and cutting it down, right? That like, for example, like the V8 that's in the Ford GT is like I don't know. Dealers are probably going to correct me on this one, but it's like a 700 or 800.
You're getting a DM right now on Twitter, I bet.
It's like a 700 or 800 horsepower engine, right? Well, tuning that engine down to be 500 horsepower is a lot more practical and a lot more reliable for the consumer, and that's what these consoles have to be, right? They have to hit a high mark, but they also have to be reliable when they ship these things out. So that's what we're kind of looking at. I'm excited about it. Hopefully everyone can tell about that, but that's more or less likely what we're going to see come closer to E3.
This is what TheDon sounds like, excited. But dude, I could tell just by the pace of your wording and stuff like that, you're real excited. Dude, I know you love talking like hardware, tech, and stuff like that. We do have somebody else on the panel that loves talking hardware and tech, and that is the wizard himself. Yo, Newark, are you still with us, man?
Yeah, but Don covered everything, so I don't even know where to start.
I want to hear your spin on it, man. Just think like Don didn't even talk, right?
No, I mean, as far as my opinion, as far as my opinion goes, you got a lot of Xbox fanboys out here expecting that hope that they get smacked into the Xbox Scorpio, which is not going to happen. I think we're going to have like the laptop variant of the chip.
Whoa!
You know what I'm saying?
What's that voice?
I was checking on something. My bad.
On blast. Go ahead, Newark. Yeah.
And like I think like they were saying like the i7 equivalent of the RyZen is like $1,100. So like, is it's going to be a big down. It's going to be like some form of CPU that goes inside the Scorpio, but AMD is working tons of things right now. I was watching a video today, and they got this chip coming out called and it's 100 teraflops. You know, I posted that in the group
Yeah, I
earlier, and I was
saw
like,
that. Oh my
that
goodness.
is like overkill for everything.
Oh, dude,
But
I can
it's
max that out any day.
This just
but
in, by the
that's
way.
insane.
This just in. AMD is officially changing their name to Skynet. I just want to let you guys know that they will be
Shit. Oh
Skynet.
shit.
Yo, Reaper, our special guest, man. Like, I'm not sure how much you like to go in on hardware and stuff like
Nah,
that.
I'll take a pass on this one. I'm with K Mega on this one. I'll be quiet.
Well, I'm still
No,
gonna
he's
talk,
still gonna
damn it.
talk,
I'm
man.
still gonna talk.
You
I'm
can't
gonna give
shut
it a
Mega
go.
up, man. No, he probably talks in his sleep like I do. No, there's nothing you want to touch on in terms of the Ryzen CPU. Do you think that is because there's no official announcement or anything like that? Do you think that's what the Scorpio is going to be using?
I wouldn't even know where to give my opinion because I'm not
All right,
much
man.
of a
We gotta
hardware
talk.
person.
Newark, Don. Like, we gotta take TReaper under our wing here. We gotta teach him some stuff when it comes to hardware and stuff like that, man. He needs to know for his channel. All right, guys. I'm just saying.
I got Dean the Tech God for that, but that's
Yo,
Yeah,
D.
I'm gonna work on the whole girl front for him first, and then we'll talk. Hardware.
Nice. That's way more important. He gotta
Yeah,
get,
like you gotta have some balance there, buddy.
All right.
yeah.
Well, yo,
I mean,
Foos,
all I know is I'm gonna buy the product, and that's pretty much all I really care about.
see, I'm the type of person, like, when it came to the beginning of this generation, I had a 360. I didn't have a PS3. But when it started a new generation, I went there with, like, an even scale, man. I wasn't, like, automatically, yeah, I'm going to go to Xbox and stuff. Now, most of my, the friends I game with, they were on Xbox Live. But I decided to give it, um, an even chance throughout. I really wanted to see what both companies were bringing to the table. And I wasn't just automatically, yeah, I'm going to buy the next Xbox. I did research and I looked into what each company was trying to do. And I liked what Xbox said. Now, eventually, they did a whole fucking 180. I mean, I was down for the all digital console and all that good stuff, family share. Like, I just felt like Microsoft didn't know how the fuck to say it. Like, it was just a complete, like, disaster in that direction.
I feel Microsoft is no longer in the shithole that it was in
No.
2013, but they still have a lot of impressing to do to certain groups around the world that just still don't believe that they're out of that shithole.
Reaper, you know what I think with that? You're not going to please all the people all the time. So you know what?
Yeah,
Fuck it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
We don't live in God's paradise. You can't please.
I got you, man. Yo, Foos, when it comes to the Ryzen, first of all, are you excited? Did you check out the conference at all, man?
Yeah, I checked it out. I'm not a big tech guy either, but I mean, I know what some of the stuff is when they talk about it. But yeah, it does sound familiar. I mean, as soon as you hear that it's 8-core, 16-thread, you just start thinking, oh, 8 cores, hey, okay. So things do definitely sound cool. The Ryzen itself sounds amazing. I mean, when they were, like I was bringing up earlier with that sense technology and the different things from the neural net prediction and all that crazy
Ooh, listen to
stuff
this guy.
you
can't say that with the smooth voice, man. You can't do that, yo.
I'm telling you. But yeah, that AMD Ryzen sounds awesome. I did like that little Easter egg. I'm hoping it's an Easter egg that they threw into Dead Rising 4 with the Zen. It looked very familiar. My boy New Legal Felon. I will shout him out. Put that up.
Newark shared that, right?
Yeah,
he shared it.
on that.
He shared it with us. New Legal Felon actually.
Yeah, it was a Dorian
brought it
Bumpus
to our attention.
video.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Big shout out to Dorian, man. He's a big supporter of my channel. I really do appreciate it.
Very passionate Xbox gamer.
Yeah, hell yeah. Was that in the game DR4? Like that picture with the Zen on it? All right.
It was the name of one of the stores in the mall or something like that.
Really?
I zoomed in on the actual logo, but it was a bigger picture. I posted the actual post in the Next Nations Club on Xbox.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because it has the like brush stroke for the circle, just like Zen's had. It
Hmm.
was amazing that it
See, I
looked
didn't
so
know it
much
was in a
like it.
store. I didn't know it was in a store when I first saw the picture. I was like, well, there are development teams and stuff like that, possibly named Zen. I thought it was like the when they show the developers and people who took part in the game in the beginning.
Right.
That's what I thought it
Right.
was. I didn't know it was just something in the store. That could
Nah.
definitely be an Easter egg.
Oh yeah,
Holy
it's gonna go down as the greatest Easter egg ever if it's true.
that's crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Yo, guys in the chat, did you hear that? In Dead Rising 4, in one of the stores, they actually have Zen in one of the store windows, right, guys? Was it in the store window?
It's like the
No,
name of
it's
the
like the name of the store.
What? Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
hey guys, follow either Newark or follow Newark, and he's just gonna repost it on his Twitter, and you guys can see what he's talking about because it's hard to picture what you guys are describing.
I got
That's
you.
cool. Yeah, I seen it. It's right there. Zen. That's cool. That's wild.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Well, yo, Mega, you have been absolutely patient on this topic, man. But I want to hear what you think about RyZen, about it possibly being in the Scorpio, and even throwing in a little Vega in there. So, what do you think about what AMD announced, and what do you think are the chances that this is the chipset that's going in the Scorpio, dude?
I think that it's going to be like a tweener. I agree with Don.
You
Have
guys
to
play
agree
it
with.
safe all the time,
Well,
man.
no. Listen to what I don't. I'm going on a limb a little bit, but I am agreeing with Don that it's not going to be the all powerful wizard. But I think it's going to be custom made. I don't think it's going to be either the lower set chip or the high. I think it's going to be a tweener. I think it's going to be a custom made chip. Because remember this. Okay, with consoles is different than with a PC. With a PC, and I know this for a fact with just me being a PC gamer myself. Once you buy that product, it's there. The only way that you're going to upgrade it is if you buy the newest, latest hardware, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with consoles, it's a little bit different. It takes time for the developer to get involved into that system and fully get all the aspects of it to where you can see the full potential of it. So that's why I feel it's going to be custom made to where it's actually going to be more powerful than the laptop, but it's not going to be on the level of the desktop. So it
I like
gives
where
the
you're going with
developers,
this, man.
where the developers is going to give time to utilize its power, and people will constantly see the increase the more that they work on these games.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think personally, and I haven't heard anybody jump on my bandwagon with this, so I hope I'm right. If not, then it's going to be just like, oh, okay, Mega, oh, bless his heart. Okay.
I'll get on there with you. That sounds about right. I could
Okay.
see that happening.
Well, on this, remember I've been telling everybody about like when I played Rise, and towards the end of the game, they kept saying Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. I believe that, because we haven't talked about this, so I'm just going to throw it out there. I believe that Microsoft is going to buy, if not take Crytek, buy Crytek all the way out. I think that they're at least going to buy that property from take it away from Crytek, or if not, I said this in my video. Get the developers and get Rise and keep that and put that on the Havoc engine.
You buy
That
up
would
the
be
studios, what you're
insane.
saying?
Yeah, buy up the
Well,
studio.
Havoc
That would be
just
nice.
So it's not a complete game engine at all.
No.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, Havoc is the physics, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
physics.
But still, I just don't see that person taking just giving Microsoft all of Crytek, because if you get Crytek,
No, your theory is spot on. What if I was going to bet money, like they're a little bit irritated that they didn't get to keep the rights to that, and this is a window for them to do that. And also, not only that, but get a good core development team to kind of carry the work on with the franchise. They can expand on that team. Would they use the Cryotech engine? I don't know. Will they use?
I would hope so.
Could they?
So.
Well, no. That's the thing that I'm trying to make. Okay, since I will be the first one to say that I'm not the tech guy, but could they have the Havoc engine work? And then if they pick up that team, could they actually?
All Havoc does is it's a physics engine, so it plugs into existing game engines. So, right. So you have something from, say the Epic's engine, the Unreal Engine, right? Unreal Engine 4. You can plug Havoc basically into that engine. You can integrate it into that engine to do physics-based things. So say like particles bouncing on the ground, or a crate floating in some water or something like that. That's what the Havoc engine really does.
Okay.
It does those physics-based things, which are to be honest with you. So it was a good buy for them, but it integrates into everything. Every engine out there. So, they would have to do some either the Unreal Engine, or basically get the they can license the Cryotech engine.
Yeah, I would say that would probably be the best bet, because if you want a sequel, there's quite a few benefits visually with the Cryotech engine that even Unreal, the newest Unreal, can't do. All right, there's a certain way that engine is set up that just look at RyZen. Look at RyZen.
Well, vice versa though too. There's certain things that engine can do that the Cryotech engine doesn't.
No, yeah, exactly. Like when they make these things, there's certain things that they do focus on.
Oh yeah. Well, even like the engine that EA does is what is the Frostbite engine? Even though there's a lapse between when the Star Wars game came out and what we have today. What we have today with Forza Horizon 3 on that Snow Mountain, right? The Snow Mountain details are so much beyond what they did with Battlefield. Yeah, and that's just it's a racing game, obviously, and it's its own engine that uses just within racing, but it just kind of shows like the direction where all these engines going. Like they're beautiful, but like they all have these attributes that they borrow from one another, or they leapfrog one another, and they add those additional things to it. So,
well, that was just my take. I just wanted to throw that little nugget in there, just as me just bringing up speculation. But I think that chip is going to be a tweener, and it sets up for a wonderful thing when it comes up with the Xbox, whatever the hell it's going to be, in the future. Because because whatever the developers can do with that, with the Scorpio, it's only going to increase the power of what it's going to be. So I think that when Phil Spencer said, Killer Phil, aka Killer Phil, when he said that they will never, ever, ever be behind when it comes to power ever again, I think that they meant that. And last but not least, the price point. I look at it just like how AMD looks at it. AMD is saying, look, we'll take the hit for the game. Microsoft is going to do the same thing, since them and AMD has got this good relationship. The Scorpio is going to take a hit with a good affordable price, but get rewarded with the game, because a lot of people is going to gravitate to that. So. Well, I mean, because the price point is going to be proper, and if you have and what makes more sense, it just makes more sense to me, since Don was saying everything he was saying, and Newark as well, that if this is a custom-made chip, it's not going to cost more than what the actual desktop chip would. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well,
therefore, they can take that. They can take that hit.
Yo, Mega, it's definitely going to be a custom chip. I mean, all Microsoft has to do is sneeze on the chip, and it's custom. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I do like how you said, it's going to be a variation that's kind of in between the laptop and then what they showed at the conference. I think Don was pretty much trying to say the same thing. He was trying to say that they'll take the laptop one and then customize that.
I just said it in novice terms, basically, but
Yeah, but no, we're all talking the same thing. It makes sense, right? They're probably going to have like an i5 version of that Ryzen chip too. I don't think that's what we're going to get. Right? I think
It's crazy how Phil Spencer refers to the Scorpio as a rig too. That shocked the shit out of me too when he said that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, man, after like, I don't know if my gameplay showed yet, but
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm watching.
But yeah, but like this is what's going to kill everything. I know that the PlayStation is number one, and it might stay number one. Who the fuck knows? But when it comes down to the media and everything else, when those backwards compatible games become available on the Scorpio, it's going to change the game for everybody. Because once you see, you don't need a remaster. You don't need a remaster if you get those. Trust me, I got remastered games on my X1, and I got games on my PC, and the PC version looks just as good, or if not better. Trust me on that. That shit is it's going to change the game, and it's going to really force PlayStation. Nintendo's going to stay in their own lane, but it's going to force PlayStation to make rash decisions, just like they did with bringing out the Pro, the Slim, and the VR all at one damn time to complement, to try to win MPDs and all that bullshit. It's going to make PlayStation run for cover for a second and gather themselves, because when people start seeing what this thing can actually do, it's going to be amazing. That's a fact.
Nice. I mean, all in all, we got brand new tech coming out. You have the release of this hardware in time. Do you guys remember when people were like, "Oh, the Zen's not going to come out in time"? Oh, look, like they posted like fake articles and stuff like that. It seems like, not for anything, and I'm just talking about these extremists, it seems like the stables are fucking scared right now. Yo, Microsoft.
They shouldn't be though.
Well, can Mega gameplay be smooth today?
Well, they should enjoy their Pro. Like if you like PlayStation, go enjoy your Pro.
Yeah,
go play it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But what it is throughout this whole thing, the whole console war business, there was this whole thing about resolution and power. 50% more power. Like that was a big fucking thing, right? And now all of a sudden,
say that shit again. That shit was funny.
50% more power. Yeah. But that was a big argument, and now all of a sudden Microsoft's like, oh, they got dealings with AMD, they got dealings with corporations and companies. They're like, oh, you want to fuck around with power, right? All right, we got you by the balls right now. You know what I'm saying? And they should enjoy. They should enjoy their platform, just like I enjoy mine.
You ever see a kid running his mouth and then he gets owned? Like that's what this sort of thing. That's what this sort of thing is. So cool. They'll stop running their mouth and just go enjoy your console. Like if that's your preferred console, go enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's going to buy a Scorpio. Not everyone's even going to buy a Pro. To be honest with you, it's going to be the base models. They're probably going to sell the most, regardless. And those games are going to continue to get better looking as well. I mean, look at what they're at right now, and they keep getting better every year. We're now just starting to see what our current hardware can do in our homes. Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
We haven't even seen what the hardware can do right now. We're 3 years into the generation. Like it's improving now, but this is like where it starts to take off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So that's my point is, why are you scared about a console that's not even out? And it's honestly, it's a customer base that's going to want the latest and greatest. They're going to buy that. That's fine. They're not really the diehard PlayStation 4 fan base, right?
No.
No, they just want to buy games and play games and not really have to worry about that.
It's the hipster thing. The PlayStation is the hipster system, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I mean, if it wasn't for the PlayStation 4 to be jumped off at the rate of selling consoles at the rate that they have, then the console market would be down, because Xbox didn't sell well in the beginning. So thank God for the PlayStation 4 to sell like they are. That's the whole thing, that when we say that we're a pro Xbox channel, we do have respect for the other systems that's available.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just that the point of the matter is that, look, let's understand and look at what actually each console is doing right and doing wrong. What a lot of these diehard PlayStation fanatics don't do. They don't pay attention to getting railroaded and getting it with no Vaseline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And while you get Microsoft that feel that they made a mistake, and then they go and they change their whole direction, and they ask their fan base for what's good and what's not. I mean, goddamn, you're not getting that with Yoshida and Aaron Green. Well, what is his name? Greenhouse, whatever the hell his name is.
Eric Greenberg, man, get the shit right, yo.
Man, I'm telling you, these devastators getting to me, bro. But I'm just saying.
He's growing some tomatoes.
The customer service aspect is the main difference, where Xbox should be superior and PlayStation should be on the decline. But it just doesn't work that because the PlayStation is the hipster system. So what? Go ahead, let them get the sales. We're eating good over here. I promise you that. I got over 300 games on my console right now. That's a fact.
Yeah, I'm not getting bored
Same
anytime
here.
soon.
Nah. And then like with them doing like these little special things like to test the market with giving Lost Odyssey for free. Like I was a big person that like, Final Fantasy 15. I was like, yes, kind of like free form combat and stuff like that. And then I went back and started playing Lost Odyssey. I'd never played it on the 360. Yes, I was one of those person that didn't buy that shit. I'm sorry, guys, but dude, I got back into turn-based fighting. This game is quality, man. I am
them visuals. Oh my god, I went back to play it. Them visuals is amazing.
Yeah. So on that same note, though, if you want those turn-based RPGs to do well, and they're giving away this game for free, don't just download it, play it, because they are going to check how long you've been playing that thing. And if you just download it and no one plays that, they're going to be like, well, that's just smoke and mirrors. They're just, it's not going to be worth it. They're going to be looking at that because they look at everything when they go to, to green light this stuff. It's about attachment rate, in how much that user is engaged in the product. They look at that stuff just as much as the overall number. So,
yeah.
So
Definitely.
So Lost Odyssey is similar to Final Fantasy and turn-based.
It's the same makers of Final Fantasy that made Lost Odyssey. That's why it's familiar. Yeah, no, it's an extraordinary game. Now I didn't get a chance to actually beat it. I got like halfway through, but I got to go back and I'm going to enjoy going back through it.
Yeah,
now,
Mega.
Yeah.
My bad. I just got to cut you off and ask one thing. One of my favorite things with Final Fantasy, one of the things that caught me with Final Fantasy VII was the summons. Do they have something like a summons in Lost Odyssey where like
yes?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
It's it. It's done.
Yeah. It's that's the thing that I don't look. The 360. Look, if you want to say that the 360 had a lot more JRPGs than the Xbox One, yes, it had tons. But I also have to remind people that the 360 was out for 10 fucking years. It's still out. You know what I'm saying? It's still selling, and you have to put that in consideration. Plus the fact that, like I've said earlier, I'm not going to repeat all of that, but you know what? Give it time. I mean, we got Valkyrie coming in. We have some more RPGs. We got Western RPGs. We got Japanese RPGs.
The consoles they just turned 3.
Just turned 3. It's about to get turned up right now, and because of the lack of sales, those JRPGs, those Japanese titles are going to start coming over to the Xbox, and it's going to be really cool because while the PlayStation can promote it, they'll promote it and want people to buy them, and let all those little stupid little fanboys look at what we got over here. Yeah, it's up to us as the content creators to just throw those little nuggets and say, look what Xbox got. Look what Xbox got. And plus, also, if you go and look at that list for 2017, there's a lot of those games that are also coming that was making me consider buying a PlayStation 4, like Nier. And this is what really trips me out with those fanboys, right? Show me proof. Show me proof. I don't see proof. Well, I'll show them something that says. I'll show them something that says SquareSoft or Square Enix is saying that they're considering bringing Nier to the Xbox One. That's not enough. Okay, you're an asshole. You just want to be difficult. I don't got time for you. That if they're considering it, that means it's pretty much going to happen. It might be day one for the PlayStation, but it's going to happen. Then you're going to have Hellblade that's going to come. that's going to be a dope ass game. I mean,
No, Hellblade's going to come to the X1.
yes, it's they're considering it as well.
Well, they
yeah.
never
Considering.
confirmed it was exclusive for the platform.
Well, yeah, I know that, but trying to nail down what's exclusive to Sony and stuff with the way Sony words their shit is absolutely it's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded.
But that's not them. That's that developer. So that developer is independent. They don't have a publisher for Hellblade. And so when they started off with developing strictly on PS4, right? Early on, because they're a small team, obviously very talented team. We all seen what Ninja Theory can do. They're on the verge of being one of those companies that will be well recognized or not, right?
I love Ninja Theory, dude. They're the ones who did DMC.
Yeah, so they're on that tipping point of being great, but they're not there yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of studios that are kind of just, I feel like, just on the tip of that, but they just haven't really
just the tip
made just the tip. They haven't made it yet. You know what I mean? But
it's a time exclusive. Look, it says it. Look.
Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that, because Microsoft had those weird policies early on in the console's life cycle. That's the reason why they never confirmed anything on the Microsoft console. Those independent policies for indies have changed over time, right? So that's why they've loosened up a little and said, we're definitely want to bring it onto that piece of hardware, because they're not as many barriers as there once was when they first announced the title. Is what's going on there,
right? And that's
gonna read to y'all.
Huh?
What up, Newark?
It says Hellblade Ninja Theory on Xbox One. That's the game y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It says the new game from Ninja Theory, Hellblade, was announced at Gamescom in early August. As of now, it's only been announced to be first to console on PS4.
Exactly.
That's that tricky word.
It's like I said at the beginning of the show, that tricky word. And I told them PlayStation dummies, and not the PlayStation fans that prefer PlayStation and likes. I'm talking about those idiots that likes to throw that salt. I love your salty tears. It just makes me so happy. Yum yum yum. And I told them, I said, look at the wording. It's what PlayStation does. And it makes people go out and make an ass out of themselves. You know what I'm saying? The media doesn't go after Sony like they do Microsoft, like they did with Tomb Raider and other games. It's coming.
All right, I got another one.
They want their money. They want money.
It says, I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to read the headline. Ninja Theory explains why Hellblade is coming to PS4 first. No update on exclusivity length. They're not telling you how long it's going to be exclusive for, but it's not going to be exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
it's just a matter of time for them to port it. Because here's the thing: no one controls those guys. They don't have a publisher. Sony doesn't control them. No one really controls them. So they'll release it when they can, when they finish the project. But right now, they're working on only one platform. They'll finish on that platform, and then they'll start work on the other platform. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but like we've been saying, to nail down exactly what is exclusive by Sony. Now, K Mega kind of, I guess he considers that as the way to go. I'm actually the one trying to kind of combat that. I'm the one trying to say that, the way that they word shit like that, we can't have that in the industry. Like, just say it how it is, man. If it's coming first to PlayStation, just say, coming first to PlayStation. Don't put it in the little small letters at the bottom and stuff.
Okay, but Bob, this is where I gotta disagree with you.
Let's do this.
Okay. Sony. No. If Sony went the right direction, went the fair direction, and just put it on their displays or whatever, of saying this game is coming first on PlayStation, where would the PlayStation fanboys have the ammunition to attack Xbox people? If you don't think the Yoshidas, the other people don't pay attention to this fan war shit, then you're blind. They do. This is what they feed. This is what's feeding the growth of the PlayStation brand. They've gone to this direction of going to the undercut, going to the back, and saying, "Look, hey, we'll do it anyway. Just look at the motherfucking the 2013 launch. They undercut the shit out of Xbox. They were left dumbfounded, like, huh? I thought y'all was gonna do DRM with us. And then Sony was like, gave him a nudge. Oh man, we were just fucking with you, bro. We were just playing with you. And then our game's gonna be DRM too. But you know what? But the PlayStation fans didn't catch on to that until they got NBA 2015, 2014, whatever. And then they realized that, oh, I got to get this content just like Xbox got to get this content. This is the thing that really trips me out more than anything. PlayStation knows that if they try to go the direction that you say, Bot, they would lose this console war. Period. It would be fueling them.
Mega, it would be more than the console war though, because I know the stables don't want to see this. The media, they know it inside, which is why they kind of spin towards Sony here. But it wouldn't just be the console war. Sony as a corporation, because PlayStation is the only thing that's profitable, like they would be in serious trouble. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why they went this route this generation, yeah.
You guys also got to keep in mind, Sony is only worth $70 billion. It's only worth $70 billion. Microsoft is worth over $400 billion. So the person that needs to make more money right now is on the Sony front rather than Microsoft. Microsoft can just sit behind a desk and twiddle their thumbs all day and just wait for for true greatness to come in AAA titles, whereas Sony actually has to make that money back because they just bought 3 hardwares this fall, and what is actually selling, what is giving them a decent boost in revenue.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
$70 billion is only a small part of it, right? Like it's
no,
how much profit are you generating too?
Yeah, I'm talking about their entire market cap. I'm talking they're worth $70 billion.
Yeah.
Right. Well, check it out. Check it out.
I thought it was 20.
Now this is the insult of the insults for the night.
It's 70.
I hate to do it to my PlayStation brethren. I hate to do it to you. I hate it. So this is my new thing right now. When y'all start talking about for my Barney Rubbles and for the Sylvesters and all them, and for Wolfie and all them guys who want to come talking about facts, let me bring this fact to you. When you want to talk about those sales, all I got to say is this: the company that you support is getting beat by Panasonic. There's not a piece of Panasonic shit in the U.S. I don't even own anything Panasonic anymore. The people that is beating Microsoft is the big conglomerates that run like Apple and shit like that.
Amazon, Google.
Yeah, Amazon, Google.
Well, those companies are still behind them.
I was trying to think if it was Apple or because there was.
But that's Microsoft's competition right there.
Yeah. There is no competition. If Microsoft, let's just be real. If Microsoft went to Sony and says, "Look, man, we just want you to keep your movie. We want to buy everything out." Microsoft has enough money. If there wasn't no, there's a clause with Japanese Japanese stock and things like that where you can't let an American company buy that shit out. But if there was, Microsoft has enough money to go to Sony and says, "I want the PlayStation brand. What is your price?" That's the difference. Sony can't do that. So when you start bringing up them stupid ass numbers about a fucking console, let's just be real. Microsoft can buy that motherfucking company 5 times fold. Mm-hmm. Let's just be real about that.
Actually tried a couple times already, and also Nintendo. So that just proves your point even further. Like they. Yeah. If it weren't for the weird laws between the different countries, it would have already happened.
Yeah. See, and that should tell you right there that when you are expecting all this greatness, I remember Hip Hop Gamer, rest in peace, because you failed so much. I like him, I like him, but rest in peace because you take many L's. You may take so many L's, brother, for saying that the PlayStation, and that's what a lot of diehard gamers, when they bought the PlayStation 4, was thinking that the resurrection of the PlayStation 2 was coming back. It's 3 years in, and it hasn't even been nowhere close. It haven't even touched the era of the PlayStation 3. And it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. It just doesn't.
How much you said Sony was worth?
Sony was worth 70 billion market cap last time I checked. Did they go up?
Well, They're worth 17.7 billion right now, bro.
17.
Oh, so they lost a million.
Did you
Oh,
say
so they lost.
17? No. Did you say 17? No, Newark. Don't hurt him like that. No.
Google's. I can read it to you.
Newark.
Well, it's from Cinema Blend.
No, Newark. Don't do it to him.
It says that's right, investors. It says that's right, investors. But people claimed about that last year when they
need some
when
milk.
it said that's right, investor
They
Stockholm.
need some milk.
Yo, he's going down.
Value
Yo.
Nintendo higher than all of Sony.
Look,
It said Metro reports show that Sony's worth 17.7 billion, thanks to mostly their failing movie, music, and laptop division.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey. Somebody post this shit. This is the illest shit of the night.
Yo.
Oh my God. This motherfucker said,
this-
oh shit.
Losing it.
Somebody said, I forgot. He said motherfucking Bill Gates is worth 38 billion. God damn, it's a motherfucking riot in this bitch. It's over. Don't tell me shit about PlayStation. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Give us some
yo,
money.
Newark.
I don't know what's going on.
Man, Bill Gates, rich as shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. Don't tell me nothing about no goddamn sales when a motherfucking with the motherfucking president, the person that made Microsoft is making more
Yeah,
money
he
than a
doesn't even
goddamn
work
company.
there anymore, man.
No, my God. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry.
You all right? You all right, Mega? You good?
Oh,
You good?
oh shit. Okay. all right,
Megan
let's
need
go.
a milk, big old cornflake.
Oh,
No,
my goodness.
okay, make a cornflake.
My goodness.
Man,
Yo,
that's
Newark, you see what you did right there,
ridiculous.
man?
Man, that shit was funny as fuck, man. When they posted that, Bill Gates is worth 38 billion.
As of May of 2016, Microsoft was worth 407 billion.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and of course, you know, the ponies are gonna say, "Well, Microsoft does more. Like they're into computers and stuff." But Sony does more as well. They're into TVs, movies, music. Like
Skint Eastwood said that shit. Shout out to Skint Eastwood. Hey, ponies, go attack him now.
Hey, Bob Beast.
He's
Bob
killing
Beast.
y'all. He's killing y'all. Hey,
Hey, Bob Beast. As of August, Bill Gates is worth 90 million. As of August.
90
What?
man. Hey, Skint Eastwood and motherfucking Bill Gates is putting motherfucking what next gen say on multiplayer, putting cuts under y'all's eyes. Y'all can't see right now.
Oh.
See, because the last time I checked was in November, so like, I can.
God, don't
Yeah,
say
well,
shit to
I
me
don't-
about no
I
fucking
don't think-
PlayStation sales.
I don't
Please.
think that, you know, within a certain amount of
Stop
time
it.
between then until
Yeah,
November, it jumped
Newark.
like $50 billion.
Newark. Check your Twitter real quick.
Yo, Mega just went off the chain.
Man, that shit
That's
is
the Mega from
hilarious,
the
bro.
Xbox Live and shit, man.
Man, I'm trying to keep it composed, but when somebody brings out the facts, I look, man. I just let's keep it. Let's not talk about. You know what?
Keep it real.
Microsoft is doing y'all a favor by not bringing about sales or anything like that, because it's only going to make y'all become more savage with y'all's rhetoric, and then Microsoft is looking at y'all like
I see it.
You see
like,
it?
are you kidding
It
me?
says 70 right there.
Are you kidding me?
This is November,
So-
as of November 25th.
Yes.
Man.
You see the market cap on the bottom?
They got to thank that PlayStation division because everything else with them is shit.
And see, that's the thing that they don't also understand too, is that PlayStation also has Sony has their fingerprints in all types of things, but they had to get rid of it. They were into computers, they were in the cell phones, they had I think they still have the stock in things with insurance,
batteries.
Yeah, they were doing all types of things. Look, they got speakers, television. I got a Sony 4K television right now. I'm looking at they have their hands in everything. It's just that they have made so many bad decisions, and plus their movie division is going down as well. They have made so many bad decisions right now, man. I wouldn't be trying to brag about anything from Sony right now. Calm down.
Hashtag get humble.
Get humble.
Yo,
the CEO of the true
humble.
beast, the true beast of fucking Microsoft, Bill Gates himself, the king of Microsoft, is making more money than the company, than a whole fucking company.
Well,
That's stupid.
When it's
That's
all said and
stupid.
done, man, we've known about Sony's financial troubles, and it's led them to go a route, what I call guerrilla advertising. Smoke and mirrors. If they feel like they got to play on Microsoft, hit it negatively, hit it hard. That's what they do. All right, they have the media backing them up because in the end, a lot of the people that are reporting on the games industry right now, they grew up on PlayStation. They don't want to see it go. All right, they're holding on to the nostalgia and they're trying to bring it back within the forum that they can. All right, that's what's going on right now, real world. Anybody disagree with me there?
No, you're right. And look, I don't want PlayStation to go away.
No,
That
I
would
don't.
be. I don't want Nintendo to go away. I don't want any company. I hate it when Sega went away because
Shit.
regardless of the fact if as much as we are pro Xbox, we wouldn't want Xbox to be the only company giving out games
No.
because
I
for
think
some
Sony,
reason,
we getting greatness now because of them. Because
well, true,
they
Yeah.
hard as
absolutely,
hell right now to give us this.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying that we want that competition. It's needed. We like the variety, but the point of the matter is that when it comes to big bank take little bank, I mean, I was raised up in the country in the streets and shit like that. Where I come from, if somebody got bigger bread, you don't come talking about bread to somebody that's more money
No.
than you. You just don't do that. That makes you
Get
look like a
slapped with a
fool.
stack,
Yeah,
man.
you get slapped with a stack. That's what I'm saying. You don't do shit like that. And then before you can't change it up and say, well, we're talking about video games. We're talking about the consoles themselves. No, asshole, because it all comes into the same category. The companies themselves. Calm down. If any Japanese company has the right to open their mouth, is Nintendo. Nintendo is a behemoth. And if Nintendo wanted to go to PlayStation or to Sony and say, shut the fuck up, we're gonna take this shit over, they would. They just got crazy policies in a crazy direction.
Mm-hmm.
If Nintendo wanted to come and shut down PlayStation, they would. And trust me, if you don't think that this Switch is going to do something bad to PlayStation in Japan, then you're fooling yourselves because
Maybe
their
in Japan.
whole
Maybe in
they
Japan.
don't care about the West. They want money from the West, but their primary goal is to come after and keep that top spot in Japan. Trust that.
I got you. Yo, guys.
I'm done ranting now.
Yo, all in all, man, we had a couple great topics. I did want to talk about, for people who didn't know, just kind of like real quick before we wind it down here. I'm not sure if this was announced before, but I did see this happening. The new Zelda, that was supposed to be for the Wii U and the Switch. Nintendo said, you know what? Fuck you, Wii U people. It's only coming out on Switch. Anybody have thoughts on that? Because I think that's just straight slap in the face to anybody who bought a Wii U. Yeah.
Well, not really because let's look at it like this: the diehard Nintendo fans play Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Zelda's.
So they're gonna upgrade to a Switch regardless. So I mean, that's like Forza 5 was canceled for the 360 but came out on the Xbox One. Which it was never announced for the 360 though, but
Do you know how many people went and got that console just because they thought Twilight Princess or this new Zelda was coming to it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this was announced back in 2013.
Yeah. They just
people learn how to stop leaving their faith in Nintendo by now, though. But it is still fucked up, though.
Nintendo's not known for doing something like that. I mean, they are known as the special cousin that's over in the corner of the room at family reunions, just does their own thing. But they're not known as that special cousin that'll just come out and fucking lie to you either. I'm just saying.
Right.
That's true.
After that guy passed away, like, I don't know, like they're a different Nintendo, man. Like, I don't know.
That's true.
Did they give it a reason why it was only going to be done on one platform or not? Do you guys know?
I
didn't. They were saying that it wasn't running good on the Wii U, dropping frames, and it just wasn't running.
You know why? Because they made it for the fucking Switch. Let's just be honest here. They made it for their new hardware, and now they're kind of like backpedaling. They thought they could give it a watered-down version on the Wii U. They spoke prematurely, and now for the people who bought the Wii U system back when Zelda was was announced and everything like that, they just gave a huge middle finger to all of y'all and said, guess what? Buy new hardware. That's what they did.
Mhm. Well, just last year they said it was going to be Wii U exclusive.
Dude, they've been saying that. Well, Wii U exclusive. Well, we people in the industry knew that Nintendo was cooking up a new console anyway. But yeah, you're right. To the casual gamer, the casual Nintendo fan, people that don't do research into this stuff, they got completely hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok. I swear to goodness.
What's that game that just came out on the PS4? The Boy and His Fox. What mega?
Oh, the Last Guardian.
Refer to it as? Yeah, the Last Guardian. Yeah, ponies know how to feel.
Yep. Yeah, that is true.
Supposed to be on PS. Yep.
I didn't even put those two together, man.
Yeah. Nintendo pulling a Sony.
Well,
hopefully that don't continue.
This is it is. Look, I would hate for Nintendo to take those steps. But I mean, it's a realistic step. I mean, you got to understand the Wii U itself is a dead product. No, yeah, you will have people that will buy it.
It's their fucking fault. It's dead, yo.
It is, but then, you got to look at it from a logical perspective as from a business. You got a new console coming out in about 4 or 5 months here, right? Okay. What do you think the Nintendo fans are actually going to do? Are they going to buy a Switch, or if they know that the Zelda's going to come, are they going to save their money and just buy Zelda for the Wii U that they purchased back then?
I hear your argument.
When it comes to business, man, you got to understand that there is no loyalty. Even as us being Microsoft fans, when it comes to the cash flow, I mean, Microsoft will fuck our asses too.
Yo, if Microsoft did this, I'd be screaming from the fucking rooftops. And I would shut me up on Twitter or my channel, yo.
I totally agree, but then this is the direction that Nintendo has to go. It's not that I'm pretty sure if they try.
Okay, Mega, there's a precedence out there that does go against what you're saying, because if you look at the Twilight Princess, that was on Wii and GameCube.
Yep.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that this system is just about 3 to 5 months away. That's it. Nintendo, because they slow play so much on bringing out their IPs with the Wii U this generation, is that they fuck themselves pretty much, and so therefore they have to fuck the Wii U fans, because you bring
still the same precedent. Okay. They're not different. They're exactly the same.
I understand that, but I mean, we're talking business. We're talking business, though, Don.
Yeah, that was business before too.
Well, yeah, but it was a different type of thing. This is okay. There's been no Nintendo system that has failed worse than the Wii U. Even the GameCube still sold more. Mm-hmm. This system is dead. It's dead. If you can buy that motherfucker for $39 in some places, I've seen them. I'm thinking about my
Nintendo. All right, Nintendo has been stashing money. Nintendo is not poor. All right, let's put it this way.
Not.
All right, so I know you're saying it's a business and everything like that, but for the people who actually did buy the Wii U, even though it sold like shit, and they still stayed dedicated to Nintendo, you keep your fucking word about a game as big as Zelda, and you don't screw them over at midnight hour, man. You don't do that shit.
I agree.
I got you. I agree. No, I agree. But you got Bayonetta 2. You got Monster Hunter. You got Xeno Saga. So I mean, that's what I'm just saying. I mean, look. Nintendo got to take the L for the Wii U, period, because they went in a direction that nobody didn't want, and it confused customers. We've all talked about it before. This system is going to be a brand new, fresh start, and for the fact that Zelda. When is Zelda coming out? Do anybody know? When is Zelda coming out? When was it supposed to come out?
Just next year is all I know.
Okay, right. Next year. So next year they got a new goddamn system. So you mean to tell me Zelda's been worked on for the last 4 years, and this system and it's coming, and there's a new system about to come out. You're not gonna, I know that you want to put it on the old system, but this system is obsolete. It ain't doing nothing. It's not gonna generate no more sales for the Wii U. It's only gonna just have their fan base buy that Zelda, and it's going to take away from sales for the Switch. So why don't they halt production on the Wii? On the Switch?
They stopped production on the Wii U, right?
Yeah. They
Okay.
stopped
Oh
it.
yeah, so
like
that system is dead as hell.
few
So
months ago.
yeah,
I don't know, man. My whole thing. I'm about integrity, and I know running a business.
No, I totally agree.
Yo,
I totally agree.
but I'm just saying. I know certain times. Yo, Microsoft is they're not the holy angel with the fucking halo over their head. They've done some crazy shit throughout. The generations from Xbox to 360 to One. I know
oh yeah,
this, all right. But
like canceling 1 versus
when
100.
something like this happens, I will be that voice that says, "What the fuck are you doing, yo?" Like seriously, because there was people that spent their hard-earned money. They didn't even do a fucking price drop on the Wii U for like how long? Like you didn't see any deals even in this Black Friday or anything like that.
No, the companies are doing it. Like the GameStops and everybody. That's why I seen one for $40. Like for $40, I was like, God damn, I gotta cop that because just for the reason, it's like, the policies, Nintendo's policies. Look, and the same thing is going to happen to the Switch. As much as I'm intrigued with the Switch because I have not, I bought a Wii for my daughter, and it's up in the attic somewhere, and I didn't even fuck with a Wii U really. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready for a Nintendo system, but if Nintendo doesn't change their policies, I'm still going to second guess them. Nintendo needs to focus on what the Switch is doing, and if Zelda is going to be that launch title for them, it makes all the perfect sense. That's all I'm saying. You got to think of it.
So there's an important lesson to be had here. Don't buy hardware until the games come out. Stop basing on a promise, right? Like we've talked
the next
about
God of War 2019. I gotta buy a PS4 now. No, you don't.
Yeah, we're talking about the latest on the PS4. Like, I'm not saying don't buy that console.
You don't have
buy
to
the console when
that's what you're looking for.
When it has the games that you want, because A, you'll get it cheaper. B, they've earned your dollar, right? As a company, right? And if they do this sort of thing, you're like, well, good thing I didn't buy that, right?
Consumers have more power than we think. Gamers have more power than we think. It's just not hitting social media. It's just not podcasts. It's answering with your wallet, because a lot of times when it comes to these businesses, that's the language they hear is money. All right?
Call of Duty hearing it right now.
It is what it is. That's that's the language that they hear. So if there's a practice or something out there that you don't like, talk to them with your wallet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that green.
Well,
green is better than blue.
Cold-blooded.
But back to the topic of don't spend money unless they've earned it. But the reality is, I don't know, like, you can talk about things and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with talking about things. They do care about that opinion because eventually that opinion leads to the customer just saying, you know what, we're screwed. Screw it. I don't care anymore. I'm done. Right. And once that actually happens, it's too late for them. Right. Mm-hmm. So these companies are starting to catch on. They need to start listening to these sort of situations. It's not just about the bottom dollar sometimes, because once the bottom dollar happens, it's already too late. You're digging yourself out of a hole at that point. So
yeah. Hey, why 100? Why your punk ass always coming in late? You should have been listening. It was lit all the way from the beginning.
Oh hell yeah!
And unless you when you hear Don talking,
come on,
that shit.
That was quality, man.
No, it was quality, but this shit, we started losing watchers. He started going on.
No, dude, I was watching the whole time, man.
It was lit. It was lit. It almost felt like BGST for a minute, and multiplayer mixed to one. This is fucking wild in the night.
Yo, Don, he's trying to stain that chinchilla right now, man. You gonna let that happen?
Yeah, go ahead, Don. Keep going.
Work on that, man. You can't touch it to kill. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man.
Yo, guys, all in all, like we're going on like 2.5 hours right now.
Damn.
Hey, less podcasts and more gaming, right?
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to do my little pregame ritual and then get into some games. Yo, Reaper, it's been an absolute blast having you on the show, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
dude, we're doing our little outros, everything like that, man. I tell all our new guests, and I'm gonna extend it to you as well. I hope this isn't the last time we see you on the next podcast, man. You have an open invitation to be a special guest whenever you can make it, dude.
Okay, well, I think the next time that I'm pissing my management off is come E3 week.
Ooh, you want to be on next for around E3, dude. I
Nice.
man,
He's not allowed on the next podcast again until he gets him some punani. That's
no.
what he got. You know,
You're gonna be waiting until you're going
pay
wait
for
until the
it.
next entry.
Hey man, we'll all pitch in for you, bro.
No. Oh,
Nah, you don't want
no.
that. You don't want that.
Oh,
We gonna
no.
find the cheapest. We gonna find the
You,
cheapest
you
one.
just
but
got
we'll
no.
we'll
You got to
hook
go to
up, bro.
Vegas, man. That's where it's legal. Everything is. Yeah, no worries over there, man.
That's a different type of rolling the dice out there. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Wow. But
Mega.
yo, Reaper, I know I asked you at the beginning. Oh my goodness, yo, somebody needs to pull that register away from Mega, yo, real quick. But yo, Reaper, I know I asked you at the beginning of the show, but can you please kind of reiterate your YouTube channel, stuff you're doing, where people can find you, and get a hold of you, social media stuff like that, man. Let everybody know, dude.
Okay, yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah, well, my YouTube channel is TReaper. You can find me on Zaire's podcast on Tuesdays on Beastfire and on Multiplayer Podcast on Thursdays, assuming work allows it. I'm going to be starting my own podcast with my boy Tuckmaster and Cyclonus come January. We might do another one this coming week. We don't. We have to talk about it, but it got a really good vibe this past week. So we're gonna be doing a podcast definitely in 2017. I do my common sense episodes. I do my rant episodes. Any type of topics that people want me to talk about, I'm fully willing to take in subject suggestions. So my Twitter is at Thomas Barker 61, and that's pretty much it. I just uploaded my new montage, and my buddy Dino didn't watch it because he saw the spoiler alert. So yeah, you gotta watch the spoiler. You gotta watch the spoiler before you watch it, because it does have the ending of Final Fantasy 15 inside that video.
Nice.
It does have the ending.
Dude, I am so glad you put the spoiler alert in there, because I was ready to dive in real quick, and then I read that. I'm like, oh shit. But I did share it out on Twitter just because, for people who don't really care about spoilers or whatever, I'm gonna have to go back at a later date and watch it, man. I love video game music montages.
Well, I wanted to use I like the song that you suggested, Xbot. The kicker is I downloaded that song, so I actually have it on my Groove Music library. It just doesn't fit to any emotional ties to a video that I could actually make. So that's the only reason I didn't use it.
No,
so what ended up winning was Angel with the Shotgun, and my original Angel with the Shotgun montage from last year actually got over 600 views. So it was actually it's a popular song and people wanted that song again. I had to redo it twice in order for it to start from beginning to end. And if anybody wants to see that montage, it's actually also on my showcase on my gamertag, which is also Odo TReaper. So it's ODO space TReaper, and it's all in caps.
Nice. Yeah, we gotta get on some Halo 5. When you said about custom games, I thought you were talking like freaking sumo and all sorts of weird.
Oh hell no, man! I'm pro MLG. I'm an MLG type of person. So slave free for all. Any people that can grab my adrenaline, I give them total respect, because if you can get my adrenaline pressing, and I'm old, so it's just like you get my adrenaline pumping, you're a good player. And shout out to the Unchained Jimmy, because he got my adrenaline pumping last night. He did lose, but he lost by about 11 points.
Yeah, he did lose. I fucking won, but he got my adrenaline pumping.
He got my adrenaline pumping, and I miss the old school days where it's like the tournaments, were all over the place, and now I did a tournament back when I had my old clan, and I'm like, it's time to try to do a new tournament, and with the observer mode for Halo 5 that I could possibly use to film the entire thing, depending on who's interested. And there will be prizes for it. So there will be Microsoft cash cards for the top 3 people that place in the.
I think,
Nice.
yo, Mooch's ears just rung. You know, hashtag mooching and stuff. Like he heard prizes, and like I don't know where he is right now, but I know his ears just rung. He's like,
he's probably on that Destiny.
Yo.
No, he's probably got a bottle of motherfucking wine or something. I got him on that Crown Black though, so he might have a little bit of that ready to go.
Yeah.
Nah, but I will be doing a custom Halo tournament in February. It's going to be in February. I don't know how it's going to be pan out because I actually have to get at least 20 people interested in doing it because I'm not going to do it with.
I'm
just a
interested.
handful.
I'll probably hit it up. Yeah. You got 2 right here.
Because I
You say Halo.
I have yet to really judge who's really the best on my friends list. I've had Halo 5 since launch, and Newark. Just so you know, you're about 11 hours below me. So your playtime is 11 hours below mine. So we're about the same.
Hold on, how much am I below you in playtime? By the way,
That's by developers' playtime.
Oh. I could tell you that if you give me 5 minutes.
No, we don't got 5
I'll let
minutes.
you know right now. I got
no.
63 days and 9 hours in so far in game.
Oh, 63 days? Oh yeah, you beat me.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on.
We can't get to the Halo talk unless we go into the prime time.
What are you talking about, man? Wait, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, Foos, when it came to tonight's show, it seems like you were more about quality than quantity, man.
For the players.
Yo, as usual, man, you chimed in. When you did chime in, it was absolutely perfect. Let everybody know where they could get a hold of you if you've been up to anything in terms of content for your channel, or if you've just been completely slacking off. Either way, man, let everybody know what's going on, dude.
Yeah, I haven't been slacking off, but I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy, so that's taking up a lot of my time.
It will.
But yeah, it's going to. I had to restart it too because I don't know what happened to my save, but it was all good.
You got to boost before you play it. You got to boost at least for 11 hours and then go all the way through it.
Yeah, I'm taking my time. I'm trying to level up really good, and then I'm gonna get to the rest of it. But that game it's fantastic, I think. But yeah. Yeah. But you can check me out on Twitter, Fooskies, and Xbox and all that good stuff. But definitely check out thenextpodcast.com because, like I said before, Snaps puts a lot of work into that, and we appreciate it every visit you all make to it. So go check that out.
Big shout out to Snaps.
Snaps? Who's Snaps? What are you talking about? Who is this person? Nah, I'm just playing.
Snap suckers.
Spot's gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight.
Oh man, she's not gonna be home until like early, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning or so. So man, I gotta stay up now. Otherwise, she might murder me. But all right, let's move next on the list. Let's go to that wizard man of the UWP, Mr. NewarkNJ. Yo, dude, let everybody know where they could get a hold of you, man. I know you're up on top of things when it comes to the UWP apps coming to the Xbox One. Yo, you definitely are a person to follow on Twitter and stuff like that, but let them know, man.
Yeah, I actually missed the deal. I think it was these I forgot how to pronounce the clips. The surround sound, the orange speakers. They headset goes for like $2, right? And they had it on they had like a little promotional code you could put in to get the headsets for $30. And I lost the link and I missed out on that, but it was only for that day.
Damn.
But it's all good.
Sounds like you're kicking yourself in the ass right now for that.
Yeah, because I had to go to my son's basketball game, so I kind of put it to the side.
Yeah, I got you.
And while I was at the game and couldn't find it, somebody posted it on the Reddit. But I'm real active in the Xbox news for Xbox Gamers Club on the Xbox Clubs. Mm-hmm. Also post some things in Next Nation Club, and you can also highlight me on Twitter at NewarkNJ360 and come holler at me on Xbox at NewarkNJ360. Get some Halo in.
Nice, bro. Freaking, I gotta say, like, Yo, when it comes to Twitter, that is my social media. I absolutely love Twitter. The Xbox community on Twitter, everybody is so supportive. Not only that, just the conversations, the joking around, messing around, sending gifts, stuff like that. I absolutely love Twitter and the community I'm in right now, man.
You meet so many people on Twitter.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. All right. Next on the list, coming live from the 405, man. He's unwrapping that scroll right now for his appearances, and he's about to let you know where you can find him. K Mega. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure. I couldn't do any of this without the next crew. Man, you know, Don with his knowledge, Will with his knowledge on Newark. Those dudes are like savants when it comes to tech. You know, Bot being my sidekick.
I am nobody's Robin, motherfucker. I'm just saying, yo, nobody's Robin, yo.
I don't know about that. I know you got.
Yo,
that
we
costume.
could be a Marvel team up. We could go that way. Marvel team up.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. This is all good. It's
all
love,
good,
no,
man.
Oh man, no man. My family, my friends, man. This is really actually where it's all begun for me to get to start blowing up, man. And I thank these guys so much, man. And I've praised them. Hell and high water, man. You know what I'm saying? I got all these guys back. But yeah, no, man, you can check me out on BGST, of course, on the multiplayer. My crew, Intromedia Gaming, got love for all of those brothers and sisters out there. Go check them out at intromedia.com. And of course, you know, check out my channel. I'm almost close to 700 subs. Thank you for all the subs that I've got. I'm over 800 right now on Twitter. Thank you guys so much, man. It's awesome, and big shout out to my son who was out there in Las Vegas. That's out in Vegas right now. That's at doing the COD tournament. He just posted some stuff that he lost. He got eliminated, but man, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
You know, we a family that game together, man, and even though they claim that I don't game and I'm a fraud. Look, man, you can just go and check my son. He's out there trying to make motherfucking $300,000. So, you know, that's that. If that don't show you that he didn't get that gaming aspect from me, I don't know where the fuck he get it from. So it's all good. But man, thank you guys for rocking out with us. It's a pleasure every time to look at people in the chat. So thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And yo, big shout out to your son, man. Yo, he'll get him next time, man. And that big
no doubt,
pot's coming. That big pot's coming.
He had to learn to adjust to that dog shit ass PlayStation 4, but that's okay though. That's okay. No, but you know, it's all good. Hey, game on whatever that you love. Just be real about it. Don't fake the funk. That's all I say.
No doubt.
Exactly.
Yo.
Yeah, Nezza said 2017 is a good year for the PS4, and I just had a flashback of that little list that was up before the show started.
Yeah, go ahead. Once it's processed, go back to the beginning with that list. Oh man. But anyway, yo, Don, man, what is going on with you, sir?
No, what's more importantly going on is underneath the video, my link to my Twitter profile finally works. And I just want to give a shout out to Bot for making that happen.
Thank you. Where's the cheering, man? I don't get any cheering or anything here. Like that's
that's all K Mega there.
Mega. Mega.
You left me.
Double cheer.
But
King Neutral.
We've got everybody's Twitter links underneath below. If you want to follow any of us, just click on that link, hit the follow button. You can just follow us through our day-to-day lives when we talk about gaming. I have been harassed every time I get on Xbox Live by a couple people I game with about posting new videos. So I got 2 dropping this week. One, I'm doing a Kojima graphic review on what to expect from his new game from a realistic perspective. And we're going to break that one down for everyone based on a interview he did with Jeff Keighley and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of break that down and see set the expectations to a realistic level, so you guys are not disappointed when we receive the game, and so you guys can actually have a good time with it. And then I'm also going to be doing a graphic review on the new DLC for Forza Horizon 3. I'm going to go away from just the pure pixel counting of everything and just look at all the other stuff that gets overshadowed because of pixel counting.
Nice.
We're gonna look into that, and so you guys can see, you guys can appreciate all these little attentions to detail. I'm very impressed with all the stuff they did in that game, and I look forward to breaking that down for everybody. And I will probably, if I get on, I need to give Snaps my link to my channel, so you can go on the nextpodcast.com and you guys can follow me there. That'd be the easy way. But if you just want to type in Happy Little Polygons, you'll find my channel. You'll see my little icon. You'll know who it is.
You'll know who it is. The chinchilla will guide you. It's funny, talking about the nextpodcast.com, I do want to throw something out there. We actually have a couple contests and giveaways that are actually going on the website. You go in, you comment to us on the website, say whatever's on your mind, stuff like that. You'll be entered to win drawings for Next Podcast gear, whether it's a cup, a sticker. I think we're also getting an Xbot 448 Xbot certified T-shirt to give away as well. So we're doing a lot of things over there on the website. So definitely check it out. It's the nextpodcast.com. Guys, it was an absolute great show, and we can't end it without me speaking the truth about things here, because it's about the community. It's about everybody who came to check us out live tonight. It's about everybody who watches the show afterwards. If it wasn't for the support in the community, we would not be doing what we are doing right now. It is the community that gives us the strength to reach further and to do more. As you guys can see, the next podcast is about evolution, whether it's graphics, whether it's features, whether it's new intros. This is what we are about, and we are about giving the common sense back to the community. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this Saturday evening, and hope to see you next time on the next podcast. Good night, everybody.
I got one more announcement.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I got one more.
That comment section is crazy.
It is going off. That's when you know that things are going well for the show. The comment section is blowing up. But I do have one more announcement. 2017, people, get ready, because the JOH show is coming.
Oh, no.
Get ready.
Oh, no.
The JOH is coming. I'm going to keep on showing little clips and little things about the JOH, and it's coming. So this is your boy K Mega Cornflake.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Bob,
right,
you can go ahead and send
we
us
out,
out, baby.
everybody.
Go ahead and hit that A button.
Hit that A button.